Oh, look at that one. Hey y'all, what do you say me and you try to have some fun today and get some of them old catfish? It's a beautiful day out here. It's a little bit breezy, but warm, and it's sunny. So I come all the way back here in the back of this creek to see if there was some bait back here. Now through the cast net, and I've got us some small shad that we're gonna run on one rod, but I've got a cooler full of skipjack that we're gonna use for some bigger baits too. So I think we're gonna start fishing right here, see what's going on, work our way out of this creek. It's a fairly long creek. It's got some width and it's got some depth to it. So we're just gonna work our way out, see how we do in here. If we're catching fish, great. If not, we'll turn and start going up the main channel once we get out there. But I'm gonna put y'all here in the chest while we get baited up. Like I said, we're gonna be running cut bait and live bait, big baits and small baits. We're gonna cover our bases today, y'all. So we'll start out here with these live baits since I've got them just freshly loaded up here in this bucket. They're about as lively as they're gonna get. They're small, buddy, though. These threadfin, you can see here, they're 2 or 3 inches long. They're smaller. They're slippery as all get out too. But I've got a #1 size shiner hook. This is a little Gamakatsu shiner hook. And we're gonna run him on that right there. Got him run through the nostrils. And I'm just gonna let out a little line here. This is a inshore medium heavy action rod, 30-pound braid. I've got a 15-pound fluorocarbon leader going down to that hook. And we're just gonna put a little distance between us and that bait. And then I'm gonna get us some cut bait on, and we're gonna try to get situated properly in this wind, folks. The wind is up today. Anytime you've got a day in the month of March where it's a little bit sunny and a little bit warm, you can guarantee you're gonna have some wind too. So we're gonna fight it. I may have to put out a drift sock off the back of us here, but I'm gonna stick this rod holder, or stick this in the rod holder here behind us. Like I said, we'll have it going here off the back. Now let's get our cut bait. Let's get it on here and get our big rod set up. It's possible, y'all, that there could be some big cats up in this creek today, and we're gonna whoop the fire out of them if we find them up in here, because I'm ready to catch some fish. I don't know about y'all, but I'm ready to catch some. So y'all get your poles, get your snacks. We're going after some catfish today. As soon as I get these here baits on, I'm gonna take a skipjack head and a skipjack chunk. We're gonna do one of each. Y'all, what's going on here with my back line? Did we just run it over? Has something got our shad here? What the heck's happening here? Something's got our line. We've got a fish on just like that on our live shad. I heard my line rubbing on the side of the kayak here as I was cutting them baits. We've already got the first fish on here. Just like that, man. Let's see what this is. Could be a cat. Yeah, it's a cat. I've been catching a lot of fish running a live bait up in the water column behind me as I've been fishing for bigger trophy size cats lately. Been getting a lot of smaller blues, been getting some drum. So we already got the skunk out right here, a little eater size blue. Let's just grab us another one of these thread fins. I'm gonna put it right through the nostrils and we'll get that out, and then maybe the next fish will give us enough time here to get our cut bait on before it hits. How about that, folks? Man, we talk about fast. I mean, that was just, gosh. Well, I mean, I've had the camera rolling 4 minutes. I had to fumble my words through the first part before we even got baited up. That's pretty awesome, man. So, yeah, we know there's some cats in here, by gosh. I got the bait up there real shallow, which I figured with it being a little bit warmer today and sunny that they might be up shallow. I thought that would be the warmest of the water there, so sure enough. But nevertheless, we're gonna work our way all the way out of this creek. So let me put our tail up. The wind is pushing us out of this thing kind of cattywampus right now. I'm gonna put out a drift sock. If y'all will bear with me just a minute here. Y'all along for the ride today. I don't know if this drift sock is gonna be big enough to offset the wind. This is a 4-foot drift sock, but we're gonna have to try because otherwise we're gonna be drifting sideways through here. We've got Rover's attention up here. I'm gonna clip this on to my anchor trolley here. And we'll put that at the very back, and hopefully that will get us spun. Yeah, that's gonna help a lot. It may not be enough. I'd like to run that thing all the way back. There it goes. Well, y'all done pissed Rover off up there. He's hollering something terrible. Yeah, we got our drift sock going. That's gonna help us straighten things out. Now let's get our cut bait on here before the next fish hits on that shad. How about that though, man? Got a bite right off the bat. Some days you wait all day for the first bite. We done got one here in a couple minutes. Not very big, but heck, it's a bite. Okay, this head, I've got that on a 10-aught size hook, circle hook. I've got an 80-pound leader floating rattle a few inches above it. And then right above that, we've got an inline dragon sinker. I've been playing with these lately. Been pretty impressed with them thus far. They're not getting snagged up. I did take the brush guards off of them. I've been running them with the brush guard, which I'm not sure is real necessary or not. So I thought today, let's use them without the brush guard and see if we get hung up at all. And hopefully we don't. If we do, we can always start using them again. I got plenty. So this one here, you can see we've got us a chunk of skipjack. The rig is the exact same, all the way up to the rod and reel combo, which the main line here is 40-pound monofilament from Catfish Sumo. My rod is my signature series rod, the Golly Whopper, also available at Catfish Sumo, and these are Shimano reels here. So I'm gonna start letting out some line as we make our way out of this creek. I've got our speed set, 1/2 mile an hour, and we're just gonna put out a little line here. I think I'm actually gonna grab our, by gosh, looky here. I was gonna move this rod to the other rod holder on the other side, and I'll be damned if we ain't got another fish on. Just like that, buddy. Boy, ain't that something? These fish are up today. They're up in the water column. Okay, come here, kitty. Or I can't even get my cutting board cut. Calm it down. I just put me on a new leader. When I put on this new hook, I'd been running a little bit bigger hook. And some of the shad I've been getting lately is a little too small for it. So I got these number 1 size, there he is. I got these number 1 size shiner hooks here. And they're still probably a little too big for these shad, but they're a thin gauge wire. And so I can go right through them nostrils there and hook him okay. And of course these catfish, even them small catfish, can easily get that hook. So I'm gonna put him off the left side of the kayak this time in that rod holder. Let's go ahead and we'll let out a little bit more line. It's hard for me to judge on my reels right now. I just switched out my line. It's that time of year. I went ahead and put some fresh line on. So my reels are maximum capacity for line right now. All right, we'll put those in motion now. So y'all grab this rod now and it goes down again. I ain't gonna wait on you to grab it. I'll do it my damn self if I have to. Well, let's wash our cutting board, and I think we're gonna be ready to just kick back and relax and catch us some fish today, which we're already doing. Right, quick, fast, and in a hurry, man. But yeah, folks, I want to kind of continue on with what's been working lately. I've been catching some fish, kind of. Oh, wow, look at that! Look at that! My gosh, we can't get that. We can't get them shad out there, folks. We can't keep a shad in the water, but for just a minute. He's trying to yank that pole right out the holder. Another bread and butter size cat here. I'll be doggone, they're small, but boy, they're in here. How about that? Let me get that hook back from you there, Blue Kitty. Again, he ain't big, but heck, that's 3 fish in just a few minutes. Let's grab another one of these. Quit moving a minute, Shad. I'm trying to hook you there. It'll all be over here in a couple minutes, Shad. Don't you worry. The pace we're on right now. All right. Well, we'll get this out and then I'll try to tell you what I was going to tell you. These fish don't want me telling you much, I don't reckon. I'm just letting out a little line on it. As we move along here, 1/2 mile an hour. This is something I've been doing a little bit more of lately, just trying to get us some extra action, hopefully going to get us over the course of the year, maybe get us some extra bait, crappie, drum, striper, things like that, while we're actively catfishing. But yeah, we got it towing back there. It's in the upper part of the water column. Our dragging rig's on the bottom part of the water column. Right now we're 18 feet as we made our way out of this creek. We're dropping off pretty fast. But I wanted to, when I was coming out here today, what I wanted to do was kind of keep on the same pattern I've been on lately, which is working the edge of a flat that drops off into the main river channel. Well, here we go. Oh, my gosh. One hit the bigger piece of cut bait that didn't hook up, but this one, the shad got hit. I'll be damned, folks. We're on them, man. We're on them. Something's after that back rod over here again. I think he's got it now. What do you think? Let me get rid of this one real quick. We'll throw out another shad and then reel in the other one. Let me work that slime off there too. Y'all help a fella out over here and grab that other rod, would you? We got another fish on and y'all just sitting here watching while you need to be reeling. I can't get that hook out of this one. There we go. We'll see you, buddy. Here. Y'all grab that daggone rod while I rebait. Y'all lousy fishing partners today. I don't know why I bring yous out here. I'll do it all myself, I reckon. This Shad, he said he wished y'all would help because I done gave him a nose piercing and we about to really ruin his day when he gets eaten by a catfish. I think that other one over is still on. We're gonna find out here in a second. We can just let out a little line. I don't have any kind of weight on this thing. This is just a hook on my line, so it's hard to cast it very far. You got to kind of just let out some line with it to get it out there. All right, now let's try this thing. Yeah, he's on there still. We got him. First one on the cut bait. I'll be doggone, look at that. Oh my gosh, we are on them, man. Me and you, we're just gonna slay these fish today. And look at this, look here on the graph. There's some bait up there on top. There ain't nothing there on the bottom that we've been coming across, but by gosh, they're here. I've got one on that shad rod right there. I've been lately, I was trying to say, before all these fish keep interrupting, I've been doing real good working the flats. out there on the edge of the channel, right at the top of the drop. And I wanted to do that today, but the wind is up so much, I thought, I'm gonna come back here in this creek, we'll try to net us some shad, we'll just start fishing here, maybe hide from the wind, because the wind is supposed to slack off as the afternoon goes on. But right now, out there in the channel, buddy, it's ripping. This thing, we gotta be careful with this one, y'all. Let me get hold of him here. Look how that's coming right out of the bottom lip. Oh, there goes our head bait. Can I have that bait back, fish? It's a fresh bait. Well, at least will you give me the hook back? Oh my gosh! Take the bait, fish. Let's see if he's still on. Oh, buddy, we is. Y'all, we literally just I've got 3 rods with me today, and we've literally, if you count me having that one in my hand when this one hit, we had a triple. We had all 3 rods with fish on. This is an incredible way to start a day, buddy. Incredible way to start a day. I think this in here, mine ended up being a little bit bigger. He's gonna have to be to have eaten that head bait. Yeah, he's slightly bigger. He's slightly. Oh, he just come free. We got the quick release on that. Good, because we ain't got time. We ain't got time to mess around with him. We got other fish here we got to get after, man. Let me throw that out there, start letting out some line. We got to reel this one on the back rod in now. Buddy, this is chaos right here. This is absolute chaos. 3 rods out and 3 rods going down. That wind, I got our speed set at 0.5 mile an hour. That wind right now is pushing us 0.8. But if they're that aggressive in here, our speed may not really matter, folks. It may not make that big a difference. We may be able to go a little bit quicker into this creek. And what we may end up doing, we might end up working this creek a little more too. We might end up, we get out here to the entrance of it, if the wind's still ridiculous, we may just turn around, come back through this thing and hit these fish again. Where you at with that hook there, fish? Y'all bear with me a second here, would you? I'm gonna have to, I need to do something with this camera here. Let me put y'all right there. I gotta be able to see here to hopefully get this hook out of him without hurting him. And that camera blocks my line of sight when I'm trying to look straight down. Bear with me a second here, folks. We getting it. Them old shiner hooks are paying off for us. I got them 3/0 size there to begin with, and the shad I've been getting lately has just been they're just been too small for them hooks. And I think here, I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna end up letting him have that hook, because I had it trying to get it out of there. I've already bent it all to hell. I think he got it just a little too deep. All right. Well, folks, hey, what a series of events. We got stuff to do though. I've got to get another bait on this other rod over here first. I want to get our big bait out first. Then we'll put us another hook on the light tackle rod. We're catching so many fish on that light tackle. I think I'm going to put a bigger chunk on to try to weed out some of the smaller ones on our cut bait. You know what I mean, Vern? That way, if we get one big enough to get that whole big piece of meat in there, it'll have to be a little bit better quality. That line, you know what I mean, Vern? You know what that's from? It's from Ernest P. Worrell. Did y'all ever see that movie back in the 80s, Ernest Goes to Camp? If you ain't, I mean, don't click off this video to watch it, but I mean, at some point, try to go back and get a old VHS tape and a VCR and watch that movie. I remember it being pretty good as a kid. I bet you ain't seen it though in over 30 years. Okay, so we got our head bait's out. The chunk of bait is going out. Let me grab us another hook here. So here's what these hooks are. These are Shiner Hook SE size 1. They put a whole bottle of glue on that thing, looks like. Lord, I done broke the package. I've been breaking everything I touch lately. We'll get into that as the day goes on. I got some stories to tell you. Y'all, it's been expensive for me lately. I keep tearing stuff up. My stupidity. I've done some really dumb things lately. You know, saying when it rains, it pours. I've been having a dark rain cloud over me, it seems like lately. Life is like that sometimes. It's just, you go through periods of time where you can't do no wrong. Everything's going your way. Then other times, you just can't catch a break. Yin and yang. All right, let's flip that bail over there. The drift sock seems to be helping us back there. It ain't but a 4-foot drift sock, but you don't need a huge drift sock in a kayak usually unless the wind's really ripping. And when it's blowing today, it's blowing. It's got some high gusts, but I don't know why the hell I'm grabbing these things by hand when I've got a net right there, but it is what I like to do everything the hard way, you know. All right, there's one of them small shad on that #1 hook, but these fish ain't caring, buddy. They're gobbling them up. All right, let's toss that back there. While I'm letting that line, again, look at the screen. I mean, you'd think it's the Dead Sea, but we can't hardly keep a line in the water. Can't always trust them electronics, folks. You gotta, sometimes you just gotta go with your gut and go with what should work. And like I said lately, working the edge of the flats out on the channel has been working, but I thought with it being a sunny, warmer day that there would be some bait way back up in here. And sure enough, it was. I mean, I made one throw with the net and got a bunch of shad and threw most of them back out right before we started this video. So there's some bait back up in here. And there's clearly some cats here right behind them. All right, let's set that back in the rod holder. What do y'all start a timer, would you? See how long it's gonna take to get that thing eat. I kind of want to just keep a camera on it right here. Be my luck, we won't catch another fish on it if I got the camera on it. The old watch the pot don't boil. That drift sock back there will probably get in the way at some point. I don't like running a drift sock unless I absolutely have to. Just because of that, you know, with me dragging 2 lines, we've got this one here, obviously up in the water column. It's a lot of lines back there. And reeling in fish, like, you get one that wants to go sideways on you, hook a striper or something, they'll oftentimes run left or right on you. If you got anything else out like a drift sock, it can be a mess. You can have not only all your lines tangled, but have a fish wrapped up in that too. But thankful I brought it today, because when that wind hits and hits us from the back, it not only wants to spin the kayak around sideways, but it's pushing us a lot faster than I want to go. And it won't be as big a deal if we end up turning and coming back up through this creek, which as many fish as we're getting, we very well might. especially if the wind's still going like it is, because it'll really be, as much as it's been blowing back here, we are still kind of shielded from it back here. It's not nearly as bad here as what it was, because I launched upriver from here and come down, and it was way worse up there, like out in the channel coming down into it. So we may end up working this creek a little while today, y'all. We may just, I was a little, when I got out here and saw the wind like it was, I was a little bit perturbed, because the wind forecast, and God knows the meteorologists, they're not known for their accuracy, but the wind was supposed to have slacked off by now and was going to progressively get lighter throughout the afternoon. When I got out here and it was still ripping, I thought, man, I'm not going to be able to go where I want to go potentially, but plan B is looking pretty good. So let me get y'all situated here in the chest. I would have thought for the streak we've been on, that live bait would have already been hit, but we've dropped off. We're 24 feet deep here now. We may have run out of the fish possibly. I think I'm still going to keep going though. We'll keep going a little ways. Right there. I was about to say, if we go a spell and we ain't getting no action, we'll just turn around. But I would like to at least work out to the edge of this creek and then see what the wind's doing when we get out there, and see how many fish, see if our bite continues, see if the quality improves at all. But right now, buddy, there are some fish back here in this area. You know what I need to do? You know what would be easier? If I can get hold of it here. I can't believe y'all keep letting me forget to use this thing. I bought this thing, and y'all continually talk me out of using it, make me forget. Let's see, I gotta remember how to do it now. Grab this thing, let me get my line, and let me get the hook with this, and let's flip him around. Well, oh, dadgummit. Well, I done it all right. I flipped him around all right, and he flipped me the bird and took that hook with him. I snapped my line on that thing. You know what? Let's just use our hand to dehook these fish. Let's not get cuter than cute, folks. Here we are. We're a half hour or so into this trip, I done gone through 2 of these hooks. Now, ain't but a 6-pack. I'm going to have to buy some more. Let me get here comes the wind too. The wind's got us going point. Oh, there's some fish though, look at that. Right there's some middle of the water column, a little bit bigger marks. You can see we're going right down the old river channel. Up in here to the right, it kind of goes up at a gradual incline. You can see there, hopefully you can see, and maybe a glare, but the contours are fairly spaced out. It's a gradual incline up to the bank. But this is the old original creek channel here. It was here before they made the reservoir, and that's what we're going right down the middle of. So let me get us another shiner hook on here. And boy, I can't, that fish dehooker tool, man. When I can remember to use it, it's worked pretty good, but I guess this 15-pound leader spinning a fish around like that, you're supposed to just be able to grab your hook with that thing, flip the fish around, and drop him right off. But there's a lot of things. I blame it on being left-handed, not being able to operate these tools, like my scissors and stuff too. I have a hard time with scissors. Which, why the hell am I using these dull pliers when I've got scissors right here is another mystery in itself. Here's a slightly bigger shad. We may run out of the shad at the pace we're going, or a lot of them may die off in there because I don't have aeration on that bucket. but it won't take long to go net some more. Like I said, one throw in the back of this thing, and if we see any schools of them out here too, we could always throw too if we end up needing more. I will say though, I've been having some fun with this lighter tackle rod. The cats like we've gotten thus far on this light tackle rod, I mean, let's be real, they're nothing to write home about, right? Like they're small, what most people would call eater-sized cats. And on my heavier tackle, they wouldn't be very much fun to reel in. You'd barely put a bend in the rod on some of the fish like that we've caught on the shad. But on the lighter tackle rod, they're a lot of fun to reel in because the tackle is appropriate for the size of the fish. Now, if we hook into a monster on this thing, and don't think that just because we're throwing out a little 2-inch shad that we can't hook a monster. We could hook a big drum, striper, a big cat, you just never know. I mean, right now, if there's a lot of them thread fins in here and fish are working up into this creek, well, what is it that they're going to be feeding on? They're going to be feeding on the bait that's readily available, which right now is those thread fin shad, those small ones. So it could happen. And if it does, we're in for a good time on that light tackle rod. But I definitely want to have our heavier tackle out because, I mean, if we do hook a monster, we're going to have a lot better opportunity for landing it if we've got our heavy tackle rods with the heavier leader and kind of a better opportunity to, I won't say horse a big fish in, but not really have to finesse it, if you will, like we'll have to do on the lighter tackle. Let me get that shad right there out. He's about dead. As some of them shads start to die, I want to get them out of the bucket that way they don't change the pH there and start killing off our other shad. They ain't gonna have time to die, folks. We got another one on right here. This is another small one, but again, look at my rod tip right there, man. He's got it bent. The tackle is matching the size of the fish. This is fun, man. When you're getting bit like this is fun. We're just shellacking them up in here. I'm gonna unhook this one the old-fashioned way with my hand. Oh, look right here on the right. Something was hitting it. Something hit that big piece of meat. We'll see you, old blue kitty. Go get big and strong. Let's do it again when you're 50 pounds bigger. Let's find our next tribute for the Hunger Games right here. I do have a swivel between my braid and my fluoro that I guess you could say kind of acts like a little piece of split shot, if you will. That swivel's very light, but it does give a little extra weight, that plus the hook for those shad to struggle against. But with us moving half a mile plus an hour and no more line than I'm letting out, these things are up, man. They're gonna be up near the top of the water, within probably 5 feet of the surface, I would guesstimate. So these fish that we're getting on this, they are up. Put it back there. All right, man. And here's some more marks. Let me show you right quick on this. Look down there. We've got some more marks there on bottom. Y'all, there's some fish in this creek. By gosh, they have moved up in here. Maybe it's the warmer weather today and sunny conditions, whatnot. I mean, water temps have heated up from my last trip. They're up to 52.5. So it was still, I think, 48, 49 degrees my last trip, which was a few days ago. We've had some weather come through and whatnot, high winds. So I haven't been on the water in a few days. But that's a pretty significant increase in water temperature. And as we get on into, I mean, we're in March now. As time goes on, days are getting longer, water temperature's warming up. These fish they sense it, they know, and they start feeding up. They start turning on, man. It's on today right now, buddy. It's on today. Unfortunately, the wind is on too. I'd like for it to just back off just a notch. Oh, look at him pull. Boy, he's pulling line. That one's pulling line. Is that a cat or is that something else? Y'all, I see him out there. I think, is that a striper? I caught some recently dragging. I think that's a striper. I think we just got a stripe on that big piece of, yeah. Cats don't pull like that, folks. Cats ain't gonna just keep peel and drag like that. That's a stripe. On the chunk. My trip there where I got the other big stripers, if memory serves me, they too ate the chunk that was dragging. How about that? All right. I hope we get this thing in here. I want to get a look at it. I could see it was a striper, but he was out there. He was up near the surface. I want to get a look at this thing and just see how big he is. Them others I got were really good quality. But they were out on the kind of the edge of the flat there, on upriver from here a good ways. So this one here, obviously back in this creek, and we're actually getting a little off course of where I wanted to go. I wanted to be in that old channel. We're getting a little bit up here on it. This is a good striper. Oh no. Oh, doggone it. I just mashed the button on the remote with my leg. Dadgummit. We'll have to get reset here in a second, y'all. I'm worried about this striper right now, though. This is top priority. This is top priority right here. He's gonna take back off. I'm glad when he hit, he went to the right, not the left. He'd have had everything. He'd have had all our other lines and drift sock too. What a day. Man, we're off to a heck of a start. About got him whooped, I think. Oh, there goes our back rod. We're doubled. Back rod's going down. Yeah, it's doubled over back there too. I'm gonna deal with the one in the hand right now. I wanna get this striper in. Y'all, look at this. This is a nice fish right here. Come over here and let people get a look at you, striper, while you're still in the water. Oh man, that's a good one, buddy. That's a good one. Let me give him a little slack. I'm gonna have to put up front camera mount for this one, y'all. Fish on the back rod's gonna have to wait a minute. Let me get my mount up here. Oh, buddy. Here, y'all. Hey, y'all sit up there a minute, would you? Let me turn that screen on. I want y'all to take a picture of me and this fish. You ain't gonna help me reel him in today. You can at least take a picture for me. Oh, this is another good one. I want you to look at this. Oh. Yes. Let me turn that camera there around. Boy, we're facing into the sun too. The stars have aligned for me. The camera's crooked though. Oh man, look at this. That's a fat striper, buddy. Is that awesome or what? Oh man, that makes me happy. I knew when he hit and was ripping all that line like that, those surges, like that ain't a cat, that's a striper. Oh. All right, I don't want to leave him out of water too long. The quicker you can get them back in, the better their survival rate. So let's release him. But man, what a day, what a fight. This is awesome, y'all. Yes. Okay. Oh. Well, there he goes. I was going to get the camera and get a release shot. He's already took back off. Let's reel in this one right quick. Oh, he's done spit the hook. This one here has. He got him free meal. He had that thing doubled over. I guess he just pulled off. All right. Hey, we got the one we wanted though. By gosh, yes. I'll fist pump that in all day. Right there's some more marks right there too. Let's get another big chunk on. I'm gonna get another big chunk on right now. In fact, I'm gonna just go ahead and cut another skip. I don't know what I've done. I gotta get that speed set there, folks. My leg mashed the button on my remote, and all the excitement that was going on with that striper. Now I got to get our speed set because we're going way too fast right now. We're going 1.1 miles an hour, and that's a little too quick. Okay, let's get our rig here. Yeah, man, these stripers. I've been wondering if I would get on some more dragging like that. It's kind of one of them things that it's not a common catch for me, dragging, although I have caught them in the past doing it, but not really. I mean, if I was going after stripers, I wouldn't. It's not a technique that I would specifically be trying to use. But it's working. And if there's one striper in here, guess what? There's more. Them things are schooling fish. They ain't alone. I think we need to just stay in this creek, y'all. I think we need to, even if the wind does slack off, because look right here. Here's more bait right there on the bottom, and I want to get us back over a little bit to the left and try to get us in that channel there. That's where I was wanting to go. We veered off a little bit. Maybe that may have happened when I mashed my button there on my leg too, possibly, but yeah. Man, I've lost count of how many fish we've got here, but this is an amazing start to the day. Let's get one of these live baits on here again. See if we can. Boy, can you imagine if we got a striper that big on this light tackle rod on one of these little shad? Boy, you talk about being in for a treat. I guarantee you, y'all ain't helped me reel in a fish yet, but you'd want to be doing that one. Heck, even the striper there on the bigger tackle is a lot of fun. Those things, they just have they've got these surges, man. I'm like, they're so strong. They fight so hard. And when they bolt like that, it's like, you can usually tell it's a striper when they do that, because cats will pull some drag, but they're not surging like that when they pull it. Cats are pulling from power. Them stripers got power and speed. So it's just different. And sometimes too, when you got a striper on, you'll feel the head shakes. Unlike a cat that's going to get down there and roll, or a flathead that's just going to kind of be just raw power, them stripers, when they're fighting, they're going to be shaking their head back and forth, and you'll feel that as you're reeling them in. All right, I got that bell clicked over there, so we're moving 0.8 right now. It's faster than I want to go, but the wind, the farther we get out here in this creek, the more the wind is going to hit us because it's coming directly from the back. So it's going to be harder and harder to control our speed out here, at least while we're going this direction. Now, when we get out here, I just want to go to the end of this creek and just see what all happens. But when we turn and come back into the wind, life's going to be easier as far as controlling the speed. But I don't think the meteorologist is getting it right today. This wind was supposed to have done slacked off, and hell, if anything, it seems to be picking up speed. But we're working around it though. There's always a way to catch fish, even if the wind's cranking. You can find a shielded area, whether it be in a creek like we are here, or sometimes you can look up Wind Finder and see which way it's blowing, and maybe find like a river bend with maybe like a cliff wall or bluff wall or something, and be able to kind of tuck yourself into it and have some protection. So the wind can be a nuisance, but you can oftentimes, if you're flexible about where you're willing to fish, you can find a way around it to still be able to soak some baits. And today, I think who knows what we would have caught had we been able to fish where I wanted to fish. We could have had the best day of our life out there. But considering we couldn't do that, and at least not yet, and we've kind of got forced up into this creek, it ain't a bad consolation prize right now. I mean, I'm happy with it. I got some stories to tell you, but I know damn well as soon as we start, the next fish is going to take off. I do need to tell you, though, about the possibility that I may have to take a little break from fishing in this kayak. Today's actually going to be a test when I get home to see if I'm going to be able to fish in this kayak here. Like I said, I've had this, I don't know what you call it, like a dark cloud, black cloud over me, if you will. I've been having some bad luck. And I know, this is just life. Life ebbs and flows. You have good times, you have bad. But boy, lately, man, so to recap, for those of you that's maybe not watched consistently, or if you're new to my channel, let me just run you through some things that have happened to me lately. And I think it stems from this new kayak trailer I got. I think it's what brought the bad Judy in, because I bought this new kayak trailer, and I had to put the deposit down last June on it, or July, last summer. And it took forever to get the damn thing. It took like 5 months to get it. I finally get it, and I hadn't used it, but, well, the first time I took it out, I was backing down the ramp and lost the kayak off the trailer. It slid off into the water, drifted off. I had to walk all the way around the other side of the lake to get it when it finally blew up on shore. So that was the first thing that went wrong, really, once I got the trailer. Didn't cost me no money on that one, but cost me a little bit of my pride and a little bit of embarrassment and a lot of time having to wait for that thing to blow up on the shore over there. Pause the story a second, folks. Look at all this bait and then big marks right there under it. We're 30 feet deep. Man, that bait is from, that bait right there got eat on the light tackle. There's clearly some fish hanging out above that big school of shad. and they just gobbled up this one. What we're representing, well, I mean, we have a dying shad on the hook. That's the number one thing we're representing. But as we drift along, what we want is for that shad to look like it's isolated from its school. And it's an easy meal once it's separated from that school. And the water out here today, it's got a little color to it, but it's mostly clear. Like there's some visibility. You've probably got, I don't know, 1.5 feet, 2 feet of visibility. So these fish, they can see them shad. And if they're around those bigger schools and we drift through or by one of those schools, and now here's an easy meal for them, they're going to get out there and snatch it. And boy, they have been snatching it every time. Every time we've pulled by one, we've been doing good with it today. Let's get this and unhook and get another one out there, and I'm going to try to finish telling you the story of this craziness that's just been going on. Like I don't know what's happening. I need to burn some sage, I guess, and dance around backwards 3 times. I don't know. Whatever kind of voodoo nonsense will cure a curse. That's what we're going to have to do. Somebody's put a hex on me. There we go. We'll see you, kitty. You done been showed up by that striper right there. It's hard to get excited over that cat when we just had that striper a few minutes ago that I'm still coming off the high of. Let me get that shad right there. I think going through the nose on these things is the best way to hook them. But it's all personal preference. If a little bit bigger shad, you can go up under the gills and out the lip there, but these small ones, I think going through the nose is the best way to hook them, in my opinion. So anyway, takes forever to get the trailer. First time I take a kayak out, I lose the kayak off the trailer, lose it out in the water. Off it goes, swimming off without me. Then, one day, I'm leaving my house. I've already got a fish on. I felt him hit it as soon as I went to flip the bail over. We've got another one here. Another cat, man. Boy, the blues are stacked up in here. They are absolutely stacked, man. I thought we might get maybe some drum. I thought maybe we'd finally get a more appropriate sized hook. We might get some crappie that we come across. That's kind of one of my goals with running this lighter tackle rod with the live baits, is to get us some different kind of baits while we catfish. But been catching a lot of cats with it, so catch a little bit of everything. I mean, you fishing a live shad, you can literally catch anything. I probably won't let out as much line on this one. It don't seem like they really care. They're so aggressive today. Look at this though on the graph, man. Look at all that bait and those marks there under it. Like there's fish here. Okay. Let's set that back there for a minute. So anyhow, where was I at on the story? Okay, so I'm taking the trailer out for maybe the 4th or 5th time. Like I mean, it's still basically new. I'm pulling off my carport, and my dumbass wasn't paying attention, and I clipped my carport post with the fender. as I'm pulling off. And you would think I'm just pulling off the carport. I wasn't going. I mean, how fast could you possibly be going when you just let your foot off the brake and are rolling out? I don't know. 2 miles an hour, 3 miles an hour? Couldn't have been going fast, but by gosh, it was enough. It took a chunk out of my carport post, and it crumpled in the fender on the trailer and broke part of the weld where the fender connects to the frame. Oh! Buddy, he buried it. That shorter line, and with me not letting out as much line that time, they're gonna hit it way harder. I'm having a good time today, y'all. Y'all may not be enjoying it with me not being able to get a story out before 3 fish interrupt, but I'm having a dang good time. Oh, this one, that's why he felt so good. He got hooked in the back. I don't even know how this happened. This one here's done got foul hooked right through the back. Let me get hold of you here, Blue Kitty. There you go. People getting pierced all over their bodies these days, but I don't know anybody that's getting pierced in the back. That fish is trying to set a new trend, I reckon. This shad here, he says he's hoping to set a trend of not getting eaten, but I ain't too optimistic for him. I think he's gonna get gobbled up within a couple minutes based on what I'm seeing on that graph. Because I mean, we were getting a ton of bites when I wasn't seeing nothing on the graph, and now that I'm seeing all that, like, I honestly can't believe our cut bait over here is not getting gobbled up, because most of those fish are on bottom. Look at all them, and you can see them right there off the bottom. Those others are higher up, but okay. Y'all set the timer, see how long it'll take. Get my line wrapped up, there we go. So, back to the story, while we can. I hit my carport, do some damage to the trailer. I'm able to pull the fender off the tire, even though it's all crumpled up, because it's a thin metal. But still, it looks terrible, and it's broken the weld. So I got an appointment actually on 2 days from now to get that fixed. But the trailer's still been functional, so I've still been using it. Well, my last trip out, I'm driving to the lake, and I get there, and I go to get the kayak situated there before I launch it, and I realize what I've done. Once again, my dumb ass made a stupid mistake. I forgot to plug in my lights from the trailer to my truck. So I drug my cord all the way down the interstate for 45 minutes. And of course the plug's ruined, right? And it's one of them 7-pin plugs. And I've never wired one of them before, but I stopped at the store, got me a 7-pin plug, watched a video, and proceeded to get out there and try to do this thing. Well, I got so pissed off and frustrated, couldn't get it to work right. The diagram that come with the plug, that one right there, that's on that big piece of meat. We'll see if he can actually get it. He hit it. Here comes the wind again. This wind is pushing us too fast. I think he may have it there. Yeah, he's got it now. He's got it now. Nope, he dropped it. Let me go ahead and reel it in, see if we still got bait on here. Make sure it ain't foul hooked. Dang. I was worried that bigger bait might prevent some fish from getting hooked up, but it may also force bigger fish to eat it too. The small ones not being able to get it in their mouth. Yeah, it still looks good. Bunch of slime right there on it there. That was a cat for sure. That was after that one. The wind has just got us all cattywampus. Let me throw that out there. Let's let out some light. So anyway, my attempt to put this plug on did not go as good as what me throwing out this live bait rod is, because we got another one on right here. So I said hell with it. With the diagram that come with the plug, it wasn't like color coded like my wires. And anyway, I mean, it's probably something very simple for most of you, but for me, I'm not the most mechanically inclined person, and I got frustrated with it. So I ended up just taking it over to U-Haul and paying them to put the damn plug on. So I got that fixed. Well, when I took it over to U-Haul, I didn't want the kayak on the trailer when I took it over there, because I didn't know if they were going to be able to get to it right away while I was there, if I was going to have to leave it. So anyway, I took the kayak off the trailer there at the house before I drove the trailer over. And when I go to take the kayak off, I hear water sloshing. And so I get it on the ground and I look in the hatch, and man, I've got probably 2 or 3 gallons of water inside the hull here. And I'm like, where the hell did that come from? Because it's not like it's been poured down, it's not like it's been rained on. I got caught out in some wind one day and got some water inside the hull, but I thought I'd got it all out. And so I don't know where that water come from, but I can only make the assumption that it came, look right there. I've got another one on. Let me flip this bail over on that rod. I've got another one on. I just flipped the bail over. I was about to put it in the rod holder and he hit it while it was in my hand. I oughtn't to even put this thing in the rod holder. Man, there are so many cats in here right now, y'all. This creek is absolutely stacked with fish. Absolutely stacked. This is an incredible bite. Fish, you've interrupted me telling the story. So I got all this water in the hole there. I can't figure out where it's come from. I can only assume, though, I have a leak. So I got to try to find a leak. So I've got all the water out before I come out here today. And we're going to see how much water that we get inside the hole today, if any. But if I do have a bunch in there, I'm going to have to try to figure out where it's coming from. And I got a tournament coming up here soon in Alabama. And I'm like, do I want to take this kayak down there and knowingly have a leak? Because you take a leak where you're getting water from wherever the hole is, along with the fact if the wind kicks up while I'm there on tournament day or something, which it could this time of year, that I may take water over the bow and get water in that way, like, that could make for a bad time. So I may end up taking a different kayak. I definitely want to go to Alabama with a motor for the first tournament of the year, because I think I'm going to end up dragging while I'm there. So I think I'm going to try to borrow Daniel, the owner of Catfish Sumo. He's got 2 kayaks. He's got a Native Titan X, which is his primary kayak. He got that last year. But he's also got a new canoe that he had bought. It's a used one he had bought, I believe 2 years ago now. Maybe it was last year too. Hell, I can't remember. But anyway, he's got an extra kayak. And so I think I may, if we get done today and I've got a bunch of water in this hole, I'm probably going to borrow his kayak, fish a couple trips here in it, kind of get acclimated to it, and then maybe take it to Alabama until I can figure out where the hell the water is in this thing. I mean, the likely scenario is we've either got a crack in our pedal drive slot, that's the most common place that Hobies crack, or it's in the scupper area. And I hate to blame this trailer on any damage to the kayak, but my old trailer, I had PVC bunks. And PVC bunks are good for kayaks because they flex. Like you're going down the road, you've got your kayak strapped down the trailer, you hit a pothole, you bounce. That PVC, those PVC bunks, they will bounce, they'll flex, they'll act like a shock absorber for your kayak. My new trailer has metal bunks, so there's no give. You hit a bump, your kayak absorbs it. And I'm thinking that may have been, if I have a crack, if I do, that may have been what done it. Y'all, that wind, we are so exposed to it right now. I hope it's not getting all over the microphone. But I mean, we're moving 0.9. I can't, even with the drift sock, I can't control my speed. Here's what I think let's do. Let's spin around and let's go back up into this creek. We're almost right here at the edge of it. Well, I mean, like literally right there on the other side of that dock is the end of the creek. Let's get spun around. We'll go into the wind. We'll be able to better control our speed. And I'm just gonna work this creek right now. The wind's up so much, we're not gonna be able to do what I wanted to do out there on the channel anyway. Like that's just, it's not gonna happen. Not this kind of wind. If it does slack off potentially at some point, we may can get out there and try, but we're catching so many fish in this creek. Yes, the cats have been small thus far, but we know there's some big stripers up in here too, because we got one and them things ain't never alone. So we know there's some more stripers. If there's big stripers, there's probably some big cats too. So I think I just want to work this creek. We'll go up and down right now. We get down here to the end of it, what we may have to do, if the wind is still up, just reel everything up, run back down full speed, and then set up again versus. I mean, we caught a lot of fish coming down through here, but I would have felt a lot better about it had we been able to control our speed the whole time. So let's get this going here. Let me try to get my remote dialed in. Okay. Oh crap, y'all. You know what I've done? Damn drift sock. Maybe I got a fish on here. I can't tell if I'm reeling in a fish or my drift sock or both. Dadgummit. I think we got a fish. We've definitely got a fish. Okay, he's out of the drift sock. Good news. We cannot keep one of these shad in the water, y'all. Here's one thing we're gonna do. We've got this line all wrapped up here. You old fish, you got everything. You got my drift sock and my other line. When we get down here, I assume by the time we get back to the back of this creek again, we're probably gonna be low on shad. When we get back there, we will just net us some more before we make a run back down here. I gotta get these two lines untangled. Bear with me a second. That fish done a number on us. Very, very inconsiderate fish right there. Okay. Now I think we cooking with Crisco again. Even though I don't think you're supposed to cook with Crisco anymore, that stuff's bad for you. Clogs your arteries. Now I've already got cholesterol problems. That's another surprise for me the other day. Got my lab work back. And even though I've made all these dietary changes, my cholesterol has gotten higher. I'm sure some of y'all can relate. It's always something, man. But you gotta take care of yourself as you get older, folks. You gotta, I don't wanna be dropping dead, no heart attack. Especially if I'm reeling in a fish. That'd be a bad time. That fish would tell all his friends he reeled me in. Let me see what's going on with this line. Oh, a fish got it. I was like, my line, I thought it might have been around my motor. No, a fish has hit this thing and swam off that way. Y'all wasn't paying attention to this line. He just took off with it. This is our chunk. Head bait had that one fish hit it so far. Yeah, buddy, this is a hell of a bite we're on today, man. I don't know, I have no idea when this fish hit. Maybe when we turned, I don't know. I looked over, my line was slack. I thought maybe we'd get it wrapped around our motor. He's gonna be a little bit bigger fish though. It's gonna be a little bit bigger than them smaller blues we've been reeling in on the shad. It's definitely a cat though. At least I think it is. It don't feel like a striper. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it just rolled right there. I think it's a blue. It's gonna be a little bit better one. Nice. I knew there had to be some a little bit better quality cats in here with just the volume of fish that we're getting. Seeing there on the graph. All right, we should be getting, well, there's our sinker. Yeah, it's a better quality blue. He's a fun sizer for sure. You're on the wrong side over here, Blue Kitty. Wrong side, buddy. You're supposed to be landed on the other side. He said he don't care. He'll be landed on whatever side he wants. He says he makes the rules around here. Nice. Nice, this is an upgrade. Upgrade on what we've been getting here, folks. I ain't had much luck with my trailer and everything else, but we're having some luck today. Yep, come up here, come up here. I want you to come in this kayak, I want you to act like somebody. You sit right there and be good, and I'm gonna put that camera up front, and we're gonna have a picture with you. How's that sound, Blue Kitty? He says that's the best idea he's ever heard. All right. I can get that thing set up right there. Yeah. A little bit better quality than what we're getting on the live shad. Definitely better quality as the wind gusts. Again, I hope it ain't getting on the microphone. I apologize if it is. We're doing the best we can out here today. Yeah, fun sizer, man. Have no idea when he hit. He had a sneak attack on us. Get out of here. You can go be thinking about what you've done today, kitty. All right. I'll fist pump that one too. It's on today, man. The bite is on. This is awesome. I tell you, folks, you have them old skunk days. I have them. Y'all have them. Don't lie like you ain't never been skunked. But you have those kind of days where just no matter what you do, just nothing's working. And then you have days like today where you just, hell, we can't do no wrong. I mean, we're just pulling through this creek and it's just one fish after another after another. It's awesome when it's like this, man. It is so awesome. Let's get us bait on. I want to take another chunk. I want to take another big chunk too. I want to try to limit those small fish from getting our cut bait rods in the mouth. We're getting so much action on the shad that I'm pretty content just catching the small fish there on it if that's all we end up getting. But if running these bigger pieces limits us from catching as many fish as maybe what we could have on the cut bait, that'd be all right. Because I mean, we're still getting plenty, but if the bigger pieces allow us to weed through them small ones, then we're liable to hook a daggone monster in here today. They're in, I don't know why these fish are in here. Like, I really don't. Like, is it the warmer water? Is it the bait? Is it something else? Like, why are these fish, why are there so many fish in here? I don't know. But they're here. And boy, that wind ain't slacking off one bit. Golly bum, it's gusting. I don't care if I got the fancy pants microphone on or not. Like, that's definitely getting on the video, folks, and I apologize. Man, ain't nothing you can do when it's blowing like this. I don't care what kind of microphone you got. You just can't do nothing with it. It's blowing right out of this creek, right from the back of it. So that's what we'll do, though. As long as we can keep catching fish going this way, and we'll just work our way to the back. We'll throw the net when we get back there, get us some more shad, and then make a run back down, do it again. That'll be the plan. As long as we're getting bait, though. I mean, as long as we're catching fish going this direction. We know we can catch them coming the other way. It just, hell, when it gusted like it just did, we're going to be well over 1 mile an hour, even with the drift sock, and that's just too fast. Too fast. I mean, it's an active day, but it's still just, it's too fast. I want to be moving 52-degree water temps, even on an active day. I don't really want to go more than, 0.5 or less would be ideal, but really 0.6, 0.7 on a really active day like we're having, like, I don't really want to go much beyond that. It might be okay for the smaller cats that we're getting on the live bait, but these bigger pieces of cut bait, we need to be going slow. So the motor will compensate. I got that speed set to 0.5 mile an hour, so as the wind gusts and we're going into it, it will speed up to keep our speed. And then when the wind slacks off, the motor will slack off to try to keep our pace right there. But it's hard to do that going the other way. Let me plug my camera in here, that'd be helpful. There we go. Now we got the battery pack in. Let's get our, okay, there it is. Let's get some of these dead shad out of here. As soon as them things start dying, you need to get them out because they will change your pH and all of them will start dying. The water temperatures being cold like they are, them shad will do okay in the short term. And it would help too if I had an aerator on there. Even just a little bubbler, it would help a lot, but. Oh, buddy, nice slow takedown. Nice slow takedown right there on the head. That's what I want to see right there. He's coming toward us now. He's coming right at us now, buddy. He is, man, he has swam right up here beside us. That was a nice, just slow bend on that rod, man. That's what I want to see. I don't know what to think of this. He's come right at us here. It's weird. Like, this is a weird. I can't tell if he's rolling or if that's head shakes. No, he must have been rolling. He ain't as big as what I thought he was going to be. That's another fun sizer, but I thought he was going to be bigger than that. It's hard for me to get a read on him as I was reeling him in because he just kept swimming toward me. Couldn't hardly catch up with him. May I have the hook, please, sir? Please and thank you. I said please. This fish don't care what I say. He says he don't care if I got manners or not. He don't want to do it, and he ain't gonna do it. Am I gonna have to just, I'm gonna have to just bring him in like this and be able to get that hook out. You whooped, fish, just admit defeat. Okay, I'll take that. You lost your chance at front camera time, fish. I was gonna get, you're worthy of it. At least in length, not so much in weight. That bait looks okay, but let's switch it out. I've got that other head bait cut right here when we'd cut that other skipjack for the chunks, so let's just go ahead and it's time to switch it out anyway. Hell, it's been probably an hour or so since we got that thing on. I do want to take the scissors though and cut them fins off there. It just, I feel like those could potentially prevent you from getting a good hookup if one of them things turns sideways when a fish eats it. Okay, down it goes. I'm gonna reel in here a second too on our back rod and see if we still got bait on there, because since we've been out here today, this is the longest we've went without getting that back rod hit. And it makes me think that maybe there ain't no bait on here. Maybe we've been robbed. No, he's still on. Well, let's at least switch him out. This one right here is the luckiest shad alive, if he is still alive. Okay, I want that one right there. This one right here is a winner. I know this one's gonna get eat. I know he is. I feel good about that one. Put your bets in, folks. Over or under 3 minutes. Vegas is taking odds. Get you nickels. Can't use pennies no more. They're gonna quit making them things, but I hope it drives up the value of pennies too, because I got a bunch of them pre-1980, back when they was copper. I'm hoping it oh, something was after him. Is he got it? He does have him. If you bet under, if you took the under, you've won the bet. As soon as I put it in the rod holder, I seen the rod tip get hit. That, I don't know what it was about that other shad, that they didn't eat it. But this one here, they gobbled right up. The other shad, he must have ate some garlic last night or something. There wasn't nothing wanting to kiss on him. Ate that hook kind of deep. There it come. All right, kitty, get on. Take that shad with you too. We done with him. We'll get one of these others here. Okay. Let's flip that bail over on that one too. There we go. I can't remember what I was talking about now. One thing about going into the wind too, even though these shad are hard to cast because there ain't no weight on there, when you toss them up in the air and the wind catches them, it gets them back there pretty quick. If you into flying a kite today would be the day to do it. I may get me a kite this year to fly. I ain't flown a kite in forever, since I was a kid. I may do that. Oh, I bet you get them at Walmart. You used to get them at Walmart. You get whatever superhero you wanted on there. I might need to let out a little bit more line on that thing. Again, my reels, I just put fresh line on them. So they're actually full capacity reels now. It had been several months since I switched them out. I normally do it about 3 or 4 times a year, but it had been a long time since I'd last switched. So a lot of my line, if I break off or something, they weren't full spools. So now when I'm letting out line, I can't really see how much spool I got on there, know how much line I got out. That line's been good for me though. I started using it 2 years ago, I guess. That's that Catfish Sumo direct contact monofilament line. And I switched to it when Catfish Sumo come out with it. I ain't had no issues with it. It's been pretty good line. I get that red color. I'd started using red when we come out with my signature series rod because it matched the rod, but I since learned that red is the first color to disappear underwater. So I feel even better about using it now just for stealth purposes. But I like 40 pound. 40 pounds good enough for being able to get big fish in. If I got to reach down and grab my line, because I don't use a net when I'm in the kayak. So if I land a big fish, when I get it up to the side of the kayak, I'm gonna have to grab my line, grab hold of it. And if a fish was to try to roll or thrash when you've got a firm grip on your line, that's when you're most vulnerable to having your line break. But 40 pound gives me enough strength on the line that's most likely not going to happen. 30 pound, I could probably get by with 30 pound, but the lighter the line you go with, the less abrasion resistance you're going to have, which when you're dragging like this, you are going to come across stuff periodically. And the lighter line also too has more stretch in it than your heavier line does. So this 40 pound, it's a good match of abrasion resistance, some stretch but not too much, and I can pack a lot of it on the reel. I don't know how much I can get on there, but I mean, I've got plenty enough line for any application that I want to use. If I'm suspend fishing, hell, I might have 50, 60 feet out of line. And if I'm down on Nickajack and I'm fishing a 100-foot hole, well, I might have 98 feet of line out. So I don't need a lot for that. Dragging like this, I certainly need more line. But these are Shimano Takota reels, the 600 size, and I mean, we're dragging out behind us now, and you can see I still got plenty of line capacity on there. So, my gear, I feel like I've got my gear pretty dialed in to how I want it and how I like it. It's just finding this leak in the kayak. It's going to be the big thing. Because, I mean, this kayak's old. This is a 2017 model, which I bought it used. I got it in 2019. And I thought I was going to replace it this year. I'd actually bought the Bonafide XTR 130. But after taking that Bonafide kayak out a couple times, I realized, like, it just wasn't for me. It didn't really suit me. I was like, well, I'm just going to stick with this one. But when you get a kayak that's this old, it's a matter of time, right? Like it's been a good kayak, but the got a lot of miles on them tires, if you will, and so it's a matter of time. But I don't want to buy another Hobie Pro Angler. Oh, back rod, back rod. I heard it going down. That gets exciting, man. When I don't care if it's a small fish or not. When you hear that drag pulling like that, that's exciting. He's in my drift. Let me turn around this way. He was about my drift sock. Yeah, this is going to be another small cat, but when you hear that line ripping off your reel, oh, did he break me off? No, he come off. That was exciting nonetheless. We got to a takedown. That was the most important part, folks. It's kind of like when you carp fishing and I got my drag set light on them carp and a rod doubles over and starts just screaming. Like that's fun. That's an adrenaline rush. Let me get that. I want that one right there. That's the one I want. We will definitely get us some more when we get down here. All right, let's send it up in the wind again. Well, that's so helpful. That wind's good for something today. But yeah, I got that Bonafide thinking that was going to be my replacement for this, and that didn't work out. I didn't really care for it. Nothing wrong with the kayak, it just didn't suit my needs. And I don't really want to buy another Hobie Pro Angler because Hobie, the quality has gone to crap in the last few years since they got sold and to one of them private equity group type places. They just wanted to cut all the expenses possible and just stamp the name on the side. Like it worked, they made a lot of money, I'm sure, but it's just the qualities went way down. So I don't feel comfortable buying a new Hobie Pro Angler when so many people are having problems with the holes cracking and having problems with warranty claims and all that. I don't want to fool with all that. So I'm kind of torn, like if I do have to buy another kayak, like what am I going to get? Do I try to find a used Hobie Pro Angler that was made before the regime change and had a little bit better quality? Do I go to a different, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. We'll see how it goes with the new, if I end up, I'll get a little tap over here. Has he got it? He's tugging on it, but can he eat the bait? Can he eat the bait and the hook? Oh, he let it go. If we have a leak here, if we're full of water today when I get back and I end up having to borrow Daniel's new canoe, that will be a good test for me if I can tolerate the new canoe. I like the platform of that new canoe Unlimited, like the layout of it I like, but I just don't have any faith in New Canoe, the company, as far as the quality goes. Like they're just, the one I had a few years ago was terrible quality. It's the worst quality kayak I've ever owned. And their Facebook group there is just littered with people that's had hole issues and stuff. And so I just don't want to go down that road really, man. Like I need my gear to perform. Like I need it to just work. I don't want to have problems with it. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen if this thing's got a hole in it that I can't find or fix. If I can find it, I can probably fix it. But if it's like midway down in a scupper hole or something, it's going to be hard to fix. And it's probably, has he got it this time? Yeah, he's got it that time. At least for now, anyway, he's got it. It feels like an okay fish. He ain't really fighting. He's just letting me pull him. But oh, he's up at the surface back there. It's a cat, but he comes straight up to the surface. I wonder if I don't have him foul hooked. I wonder if I'm not pulling him in kind of sideways or something, because he comes straight up. He wasn't fighting at all. This has been weird. This is a weird fight here. No, he ain't foul hooked. He does look like he might be hooked kind of deep though. My float is at the edge of his mouth, and my hook is a few inches past the float there, so he may have got this thing kind of deep. He's got a fun sizer head, but a skinny body. Let me just take a look here and see what we've got going on. Let me get him in here and see where this thing's at, see if I can get hold of it here one time. Okay. Get my plier here. Y'all set up here a minute, would you? Y'all, every time, if I'm trying to look straight down and y'all on my chest, I can't see a damn thing. Let's see where this thing's at. Yeah, dang, he's ate it deep, y'all. He's ate it too deep. I'm gonna cut it. It's so deep. If I try to dig this one out, it ain't gonna end well. Dang. It's a fun size length, but skinny fish. Sorry, buddy. I hate that you ate that thing so deep. It ain't no wonder. Hell, he looks like he's about starving to death. He's woofing down anything he can get. I hate that though. I hate, when we out here trying to catch and release these cats, especially larger cats. I hate to gut hook one like that. And using circle hooks, it don't happen often, but it does a handful of times a year. You do gut hook one to the point you got to cut off. So we will put us on a new rig. Here comes a bass boat, man, right up here beside us. Old bass boater. Of course, they're coming up in here today. I've got these rigs already pre-tied, so we'll just snip this one off. These inline dragon rigs, when I tie the new one on, I only got to do one knot because everything's already pre-tied for me. And let me stick this one up here under the seat. I'll show you here in my hatch what these bass fishermen behind us are doing, but like right here, you see I put them in baggies, and it's got the sinker, the leader part already connected. I've got one of them brush guards in there, which we're not going to use. I'm trying to figure out if them brush guards are necessary or not. They go in front of either your hook or your sinker, and you thread your line through there, and as you come across wood, brush, stuff like that, it's supposed to help you pull through it. I don't know if they're necessary or not. I bought some, but I kind of wanted to try them without them for a few trips and see how I'm doing. See if I'm getting hung up more or what. So far, when I've been running these inline dragon rigs with the brush guards, I'm not getting hung up at all. They have been very effective for pulling through stuff. So we'll try them without the brush guards for a while and just see what happens. When I go down to Alabama here soon, I'm going to be pulling through an area that's really, really rough. So that'll be a big test for these things. Oh hell, that bass boat took back off, but he must have saw the catfish on his graph. He said, I ain't getting no slime on my boat carpet. You know how them bass fishermen are. They don't want to get no slime on that fancy boat carpet of theirs. All right, let's take us another big hunk of meat here. It's been a long time now since we got a bite on the shad. I'm surprised it's taken this long, the way it's been going today. It don't seem like we're getting bit as much on that shad going this direction. I'm wondering if it's just because we're going against the wind. Maybe it ain't really natural or something. I don't know. Maybe it's affecting the way they're pulling through the water. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Well, just like that, we're back in the game, folks. We got a fresh rig on there. Got my line wrapped around my rod tip, of course. Every time I try to talk, that happens. Let's clean our cutting board. I'm tempted to check our live shad back there and just see if we still got one on. Ain't that something? You know you've been spoilt rotten when you go about 3 minutes without a bite and you're like, well, do I have bait on still? That's a good day when it's like that. Let me just pick up on it, see if I can feel. I got a fish on here, by gosh. Hell, we're pulling a fish. Ain't how far. When did that happen? I wonder if he hit while I was fighting the other one, maybe. He's just been swimming along here right behind us. Well, that explains that mystery. Yeah, another, man, all these cats that have been up, at least thus far, have been small. But man, there's been how many? It's just been one after another after another. Slime off there. Open your mouth, fish. We'll get the hook out. I do think me switching to that #1 size hook is the right play for these shad here. That 3/0 size I've been using is definitely too big for these today, even though we've been getting bit on it lately with the smaller shad. It's still, I feel better having, oh, let's flip that bail over on that one. Fish, if you'd open up, I'd done have that hook out. He don't care. This fish here, he said he ain't got nothing else to do today. He'll just hang out here with us. Where my pliers at? You've really impeded progress here, fish. Just simply by not opening up. There it is. Get on out here. Tell them hi and bye, fish. Let's just grab one. That one's dead. All right. Yeah, I bought some more hooks. I got some more 3/0 size. I got these #1s, and I got some 5/0 size too, because I mean, at some point in time, we'll get some more big gizzard shad. And I'll be pulling them behind us too. And that'll be, when we put on the bigger baits, that's when we'll be more likely to get things like stripers or, you know, possibly some big catfish or big largemouth maybe. Not that it can't happen on the smaller shad, it certainly can. But if we pull around a big 8-inch plus size gizzard shad back there, something like that, that's when we're gonna have a better likelihood of triggering a bite from a big striper or something. All right, we got that back out. We're 27 feet right now. We've got some more. Look at all that. Look at all that bait right there. All them marks there under it. There's marker on top of it. There's fish all around. And big schools of shad. Did that thing get hit? I heard something. I heard something. I'm distracted there trying to show you the graph. Let me just reel this in. I think this rod got hit. Well, he didn't get the bait if he did. Maybe I'm imagining things. That wind gusted at the perfect time right there when I was casting in, by gosh. We could put a split shot on there, and it would help us cast. It would get the bait down a little deeper, but it ain't really necessary today, obviously, because we're doing just fine without it. I could do without this wind, though. Boy, it's gusting hard. These are 20+ mile-an-hour gusts right now. And boy, it blew this bait right in a fish's mouth, too. That's another cat as the wind is cranking. I wish I had a clicker with me today. We'd know how many we caught. This is definitely going to be the most productive numbers trip of the year thus far, for sure. This catfish here, he's happy to be part of it. We're making history today. Most number of cats on a trip so far this year, and we couldn't have done it without you, blue cat. Well, I mean, I guess we could have. But I want this fish to feel special. Y'all tell him he's a big part of what we got going on here. Big part. Okay, let's get us. There's another one that's dead. That one's dead. That one's a little one. Let's get that one. That's a little bit bigger one there. Small baits getting it done. Bottom of the food chain. Everything eats threadfin shad. You mainly just gotta get your bait noticed. And that can be tough to do when you're in these creeks that have got just massive schools of shad that have tens of thousands of fish in the school. Like, it's hard to make your bait stand out, but as you move along and your bait pulls away from those schools, it's easy pickings. And I tell you, they's apparently been, even though we're not seeing a ton of them on the screen, and this is just a basic 2D graph. I mean, that cone, 26 feet of water, so that transducer, it's up under my kayak, right? It's in a little transducer slot there, a scupper area. And that transducer, like the beam comes off, it's real tight at the top, and as it goes down, the circle expands. So when if these fish, let's say they're 5 feet deep, and we're going across them here, well, first off, they may not be right under the kayak as we go right over the top of them, right? Like, they may spread out because that motor, it may spook them a little bit if they're up that much. But even if they are, like, that transducer beam's so narrow, when you're just a few feet down, like, it's just, it's going to be hard to pick them up anyway. So it could just be, and they obviously are. They're flat, just stacked in here. Oh, buddy, that one's, oh, he nailed it. This fish, he nailed that bait like John Cena nailing Cody Rhodes when Cena turned heel. I'm watching wrestling again, y'all. Ever since it switched to Netflix, well, since Vince McMahon hit the road, it got better. It got better to watch, and I'm hooked on it again. So I'm all in on the John Cena turning heel, and this fish, he just hit this shad just like Cena hitting Cody Rhodes. That hook went through his mouth. Went through his mouth and grabbed the line. Can I have it back, please, fish? I want to talk about wrestling with these people. We're out here on a fishing trip, and you never know what you're going to talk about. Today, we're talking about Bad Judy with my kayak and my trailer, and we're going to talk about John Cena turning heel. That fish right there don't watch wrestling. I can't blame him. Over the last 20 years, it ain't been worth watching, but it's gotten better now. Let me find we're running out of shad here, especially better quality shad. When we get back here at the back, I am going to throw the net again and see if I can get us a few more. Get that one. Be nice to get us a little bit, maybe a little bit bigger shad, but this is what's back here, so this is what they're eating on. All right, let's give him a toss. I ain't gonna let out much line on this one. I want another big takedown like that. That's exciting, man. I'm telling you, when that rod goes over, I don't care if it is a small fish. You don't know when that rod's been over and line's pulling. You don't know if it's a small fish at that point in time. Get some more of them dead ones out. Yeah, folks, John Cena turning heel there, joining the Rock against Cody Rhodes. Boy, that's good entertainment. John Cena, after all these years, finally turning heel. I was watching it when it happened on the elimination chamber there on the Peacock. My girlfriend's got that Peacock app. I can't remember what she watches on there, but anyway, she's got it, so I got access to it. And I watched there when it was happening. I couldn't believe it. The internet chatter had been talking about Cena turning heel, but I'm like, they ain't gonna do it. Not him. It's kind of the same thing back when, and I don't think this is big as when Hogan turned heel and joined Kevin Nash and Scott Hall and made the New World Order. I don't think it's this magnitude, Cena doing it, but kind of the same thing as far as taking you by surprise. The Hogan had been a good guy my entire childhood up to that point, and when he turned heel, it was shocking, right? Same thing with Cena, like all the Make-A-Wish stuff, and him just the consummate good guy. But now that he's turned heel, I'm all in on it, man. I'm watching, I'm hooked. I'm excited to see where it goes. There's a lot of different angles they can go with. At some point in time before Cena retires, which is allegedly going to be the end of the year, you know he's going to turn good again. He's not going to retire a bad guy. So he may have another feud with The Rock, possibly, because he's going to have to turn good again, so that may be a possibility. Cody versus The Rock could happen. There's a lot of potential storylines here that could go down. And, oh boy, let me show you this. I got to pull out my phone for this one here, y'all. Bear with me. I want to show you all what I've bought I haven't gotten it yet, but I've bought it. So, you regular viewers, my regular fishing buddies here, you know I'm into them wrestling figures. My midlife crisis, I've been going through it, man, and buying these WWE Superstars figures. And they've been a Walmart exclusive, which has been frustrating because of the distribution issues Walmart has. Like, it's hard to find them all. But the other day, I'm scrolling through social media, and there's a site called Mattel Creations. It's like Mattel, they make the figures. They've got like special exclusive things on their site. And right here, the WWE Superstars, they've come out with a 2-pack, Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream, and Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare, 2-pack. I've bought it. It was a pre-order. I haven't got it yet. I don't know when they're shipping out. But it's a Mattel Creations exclusive. These aren't going to be in Walmart like the other figures in that lineup. I don't know why I like those, but I've been into them for the last year that I've been going through my midlife crisis. So I jumped all over that, man. I snatched them right up. Can't wait to get them. Still waiting, for those of you that's been following along, my midlife crisis, it's been a journey. But there's another kind of, I don't know if you'd call them a knockoff brand, but it's like a brand of toys I've never heard of before, but they've been making some, I think that back rod got hit again. Something hit it. Let me just check and make sure we're not pulling one along here, no. Let me make sure we still got bait. Oh, I'm glad we checked. That one stole the bait. I knew it got hit. Let's get that one. But there's there's 2 other companies that make that style of figure. Like, I guess Mattel has a contract with WWE. So any current wrestlers or old wrestlers that have a Legends deal with them, Mattel can make a figure of them. But if WWE doesn't have some form of a contract with them, I guess they can sign with whatever company they want. And so there's 2 other companies. One's called Powertown and one's called Bell to Bell. And some other wrestlers have got deals with them. So Bell to Bell, I bought a 2-pack of the Road Warriors, Hawk and Animal. And they look pretty good. Now, they're not as good as the Mattel WWE Superstars figures. Like the elbows don't bend, the knees don't bend, things like that. So they're not as good a quality, but they look good overall. Like, I think I'm pretty impressed with them overall. And I ordered, as my Christmas present to myself, from Powertown, I ordered the Rock and Roll Express, and they also had a 2-pack with Magnum TA and Tully Blanchard. And I really only wanted the Tully Blanchard, but I went ahead and bought the 2-pack. Those were supposed to ship in January. Again, I bought them in December. It was before Christmas. It was my Christmas present to myself. Well, January comes and goes, they don't ship. February comes and goes, they don't ship. Here we are in March, still haven't shipped. I don't know when we're going to get them, or if we're going to get them at this point. I don't know what's up with it. So I don't have a lot of faith in this Powertown company, but the figures on their site, man, oh, he let it go. That was another one after that big chunk. But the Rock and Roll Express, like if I could have the Rock and Roll Express in that style of figure, man, you talk about peak midlife crisis happiness. I'm going to be there. But I thought I'd already have them, and I don't. So I don't know what's up. But the WWE Superstars lineup, I'm really pumped, and I shouldn't be this excited over it, but I am. that Mattel Creations is going to start having some on there, because the Walmart, it's so hard to get the figures. Like, the series that come out in November, Bret Hart, Jim the Anvil Neidhart, and Cactus Jack, it took me till January and multiple trips to different Walmarts to find them. Then the next wave come out in February, Jake the Snake, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, and Eddie Guerrero. I haven't found any of them yet. And again, I've been to multiple Walmarts. You can find them on eBay. People, when they find them, they snatch them up and jack up the price. I ain't paying that. But to find them in store at retail price, I can't find them anywhere. It's Walmart's distribution's terrible. Everybody that likes those figures, all the other nerds online and stuff that I interact with in the groups, which why the hell I do that, I don't know. I guess I'm a big nerd like they are, but everybody complains about the distribution issues of them. But if Mattel Creations will start making them, I will gladly pay a little bit extra for shipping to just get them as soon as they come out. That would make things so much easier. I keep hoping my midlife crisis will end at some point, but so far we're still going strong. I think I'm off the G.I. Joes a little bit. The G.I. Joe Classified, the 6-inch figures, really was into those. I like them, but the quality has been pretty bad. Like I've gotten a few figures now that they won't hardly stand up because they're just, the joints are loose and stuff, the waist and the torso, like they're just, the detail of the figures looks amazing, but the quality of the figures leaves a lot to be desired. So I'm kind of getting off of those, thankfully. But I did buy a couple figures. I had my birthday recently. Happy birthday to me. I've turned 39 yet again. I've been turning 39 the last few years now. I refuse to acknowledge my 40s. But I would have bought the Dusty Rhodes and Cody Rhodes for my birthday, but those come out after my birthday. So prior to that, I bought Anti-Eternia He-Man and the Cartoon Collection Merman figures. And I got those, and they're awesome. So I'm just going through it, man. I'm going through this midlife crisis. I don't know why I've gotten nostalgic and trying to relive my childhood, but it's getting me through it, man. And my girlfriend, even though she's got to be weirded out, she's supportive of it. She has bought me some. So she's as much as fault of it as me at this point. I think she's just happy that, like, unlike most people my age that go through a midlife crisis that end up buying a sports car and putting mousse in their hair and stuff, like, at least I'm not doing that. I mean, I ain't got enough hair to put mousse in at this point anyway, but I could probably get financing for a sports car. So, so at least buying a Dusty Rhodes and Cody Rhodes 2-pack of action figures is cheaper than a tank of gas on the sports car. I keep thinking that my midlife crisis will end, but I mean, we're coming up on about a year of it at this point. I don't know. This may just be life now, for all I know. This may be the new norm for me. And I guess there's worse things, but it is a lot of clutter. Like, I mean, prior to me reliving my childhood, I didn't like clutter in my house. Like, prior to the action figures, I allowed myself one shelf in my house. It's in my bedroom. It's got the ashes from my dog Roscoe. Rest in peace, old Roscoe there. I've got his box of ashes, his collar, his harness, a picture of him. Like, he's got his own shelf. I've got some of my toys from my childhood, Dukes of Hazzard car. I've got my Pete Rose autographed baseball in there. Like, I've got one shelf of just things, if you will. And that was the only space in my house I was allowing clutter. prior to last year when I hit this midlife crisis. And now, in my office, hell, I've got action figures everywhere. I've got a whole shelf of just nothing but action figures, like a bookcase shelf full of action figures. Why? I don't know. It's just, they bring me some kind of enjoyment. And so I'm doing it. When I saw Dusty Roads, man, I'm like, and let me pull it up again, because I know some of y'all just care so much. I wish, and I'm not alone in this, some other people online have talked about it, some other nerds. I wish they had done the belt a little different. It's an NWA belt. I don't think the quality looks very good. And I like that shirt, the American Dream shirt. But there's a big part of me that wish they had went like WWE, like the yellow polka dots. I wish they had done that. Now, I think the Cody Rhodes figure looks great. But the Dusty, I feel like, and maybe they'll come out with another one in the future that'll have the yellow polka dots. Some people online, too, was talking about, like, they wish they had made it a 3-pack and had gold dust in there. Or, like, just a Dustin Rhodes, like, before he was Gold Dust, he was just Dustin Rhodes, the natural, I think he was called. Do a 3-pack and have all 3 of them. I would even make the argument you could have done a 4-pack and put Sapphire in there. Remember Sapphire? That lady that come out with him there when he was in the yellow polka dots and stuff? You could have had her in there too. So, I'm excited about it. Can't wait to get it. My channel members will probably see it because I've been, in my channel members videos, they've seen a lot of they see the behind the scenes stuff, what goes on at my house. They've seen my office and all them damn figures and things like that. So, you channel members out there that are watching, get ready. You're going to see some Dusty Roads when I get that figure. It's coming. Don't know when it's coming, but it's coming. I got more confidence that Mattel Creations is actually going to ship them out than I do Powertown and my Rock and Roll Express. I got on Powertown's website. I was going to send a message and just inquire. There's nowhere to even contact them on there. I'm wondering if I didn't get ripped off. Let me pull up their thing there and show you what it says. I mean, they've got a pretty good website here. They've got several figures. It's the Remco style is what they're called on this. But you can see it says sold out. And again, they were pre-order back in December there. But you click on it. This is the Rock and Roll Express. These are the ones I bought. But you go down and it says shipping, January 2025. Well, hell, that was 2 months ago. And you go to pre-order status page. It was updated on March 5th, my birthday, by the way. Happy birthday to me. But when they updated it, it says Remco en route, shipping soon. What the hell does that mean? When is soon when it was supposed to be 2 months ago? So, and again, it ain't been updated since the 5th. So I don't know. I'm thinking maybe I've been ripped off. Will this one rip us off right here? Is he? Oh, he's hooked. He's hooked right there, folks. That one ain't ripping us off. We're going through a little dry spell there, wasn't we? Oh, he come free. Let me reel it in, make sure he didn't rip off our bait. He may have got our bait. No, he didn't. Did he foul hook us? No, he just let go. Okay. Well, let's let out some more line on that. We have been going through a little drought here, though. I guess these fish don't like me talking about wrestling figures. Let me make sure we still got a shad on this one. I was getting all fired up about Dusty Roads, and well, while I've gotten fired up about Dusty, one of them has stole our shad off there. That's why we wasn't getting bid on that. I'm gonna have to get the net in there. The few that are left, they're fast. We've still got several in there though. I don't know if we necessarily need to net more, but when we get up here and we've got to reel everything up, I guess we could. I do feel like we were getting a bit better going the other way. Maybe I'm just feeling that way because of the striper. You know what we may do on the way back? I'll tell you exactly what we're going to do. When we get up here, I'm gonna take us all the way. I'm gonna take us all the way back up here to this the back of this here, where I netted the shad to begin with. Flip that bail over. I'll run us all the way up in here. We'll throw the net one time, get us some more shad. Let's see what's happening. I think he's got it. Let's see if this one will stay buttoned up. I just flipped the bail over and we started pulling it. Yeah, he's hooked up for now. I don't think he's going to be very big though. Well, now he feels a little better. I'm gonna get this in the end, and I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. I got us a plan. Just formulated it. We're at least gonna try it. Y'all hear them wind chimes over there? How bad would it suck to live next to somebody that's got wind chimes? Them things always clanging around. Drive a person insane. Oh, our back rod's got hit. I want to get this one up here and get a look at him. Oh, he come free right there. Are you kidding me? He let go right there. Oh, let me get this one going back out. We'll reel in our other one over there. I never got a look at him. He come off right there. I don't think he was very big, but still, I'd like to have seen him. Let's see if this one's still on. Yeah, he's still on here. Amazing, we actually have a shad on the hook and we get bit. It helps to have bait on your hook, folks. That's a pro tip right there for you. Put bait on your hook and expect to get bit. Now, I mean, how many of these cats have we caught today? They're just, man, they're in here thick. Normally, if we were catching that size of fish or having that size of fish ripping up our baits on our big rods, I'd be upset. But when we're catching them here on the lighter tackle, it's actually quite enjoyable. We'll send another one out, and we're going to eventually get up here to where I netted these shad. And I'll probably just throw the net one time, get us some more, switch out our water here in the bucket. And then I'm gonna run us back down to the entrance of this creek. The wind is, I mean, it's still been up too much. I don't want to fool with getting out in the main channel where we're going to be really exposed. But I do want to go back here to the entrance, and I think I'm going to work us up shallow. You know, I've been working the old creek channel down through here. Our next pass, I'm going to get us up shallow and see what's going on up there. Maybe, you know, if we're, maybe try to keep us like 10 feet deep or so. or work us up to there, you know, or maybe we zigzag in and out. I don't know, but with it being so active and being a sunny day or warmer day, there may be some more fish that are up shallow too. We'll at least go check it out. I mean, if we're confined to this creek because of the wind, we might as well explore all of it. You know what I mean? So that's what we'll do. Yeah, we ain't got much further to go up through here, and we'll be back in this little pocket. And there's a bunch of birds back here. Them old seagulls over there on the left, they're stacked up over there. But hell, look at that. We could throw the net right here under us and get us a bunch of shad. It's already getting hit. I tell you what, oh, he come free too. He just got our bait. Just got our bait. We've been robbed. I want y'all to call the law. I want you to tell them we've been robbed. And while they're investigating, see if they can reach out to Powertown and figure out where my Rock and Roll Express figures are too while they're at it. And they probably on a boat from China right now. It's probably where they're at, truth be told. That's probably what the holdup's been. They've probably been, you know, all them toys, all them action figures come from China. Everything's probably all held up in customs or something. What a day though, buddy. This has been awesome. That wind has made it feel just a little bit cooler than it is. It's supposed to be in like the 60s today, but the wind blowing across the water has made it feel a little bit cooler than it is, but it's still a pretty comfortable day, at least out here in a sweatshirt anyway. Allergy season's starting to kick off. All these trees they ain't got their leaves yet, but you can see they got the buds, the red buds, the blooms. It won't be long and my allergies will really be kicking. My nose is running today. Thankfully, I got a handkerchief in my pocket over here and my sleeve. The Loys, they're channel members. They got me some handkerchiefs a while back. They sent me a really nice birthday present too. Thank you again to the Loys. Good people. They've been supporting my channel a long time. But yeah, I do them channel members videos, just behind the scenes stuff. Keep people apprised as to what's going on in real life. And they see my action figures and the animals there at the house. I'm probably going to try to arrange some kind of meetup too when I go to Alabama for the channel members. I don't know exactly when or where yet, but I'll probably try to set up something. I think that's what I'm going to do when I travel to the tournaments this year is, try to set up a time and place. We did that a little bit in the last year with tournament check-ins and whatnot, but I want to try to hopefully get that announced a little earlier than what I done it last year. That way people can make plans and arrangements and stuff. Because the people who are channel members are supporting my channel through that membership. Like they're going to be more inclined to go to such a thing. So definitely want to give them time to make arrangements. But I'm gonna have to figure out a time and place. Probably around the tournament would be the best time to do it, since I know I'll be there and all that, and it'll be there'll be a address for wherever our tournament check-in's at. It'll be easy for somebody to GPS it, Google it, or whatever. But I need to be a little bit more proactive on that this year. Are we hit again back here? We are. It's going to pull a little bit right there. I tell you, man, if we had just been running the cut bait, well, we would, I mean, if we had just been doing the cut bait, I would have been running a smaller chunk in addition to the big head, so we would have probably got some more fish on it. The bigger piece of chunk that I've been running, this in here is going to be a little bit better than some of them others. I ain't got to look at this one yet, but I think he's going to be slightly bigger anyway. Well, let me get a look at you here, fish. I want to see what we're dealing with here. Yeah, a little bit bigger. A little bit bigger than some of the others. A little bit better fight. But yeah, I mean, if I had just been running the 2 rods today, we would have had the large head, and I would have used a smaller chunk. And that would have probably got us a few more bites on that. But doing things how we've done it today, man, it would have been a much less productive day today without this live bait rod. I mean, this has really kept me entertained here while we wait on the bigger fish. Oh, goodness. Here, I got to get y'all out of the way again. Y'all set up there a minute while I get a hold of this hook. I just can't see with y'all where you set right there in the chest. This is another one that's ate it kind of, this one's gettable, but it's ate it kind of deep. Let me see in there, fish. I need me just a little bit longer pliers to get that fish. I need just a hair longer pliers. He ain't happy about it either. This old fish, he ain't happy at all. This fish said he's never been happy a day in his life. I see it. I just can't hardly reach it. There it is. Well, now I done hooked you again. I got it unhooked and hooked you again. There we go. There y'all crooked on there, folks. Turn yourself around. There you go. Get on out of here. He gone. Danged old fish ate that thing. Ate it kind of deep. If he'd took it back any further, we wouldn't have got it back. Make sure I didn't bend it. Yeah, we okay with it. All right. I think we're going to keep fishing our way on back. Here, let me get y'all back in the chest. We're going to keep going back here just a little bit further. We're 14 feet deep here where we're at now. We'll just keep making our way on back. I want to at least get back here to where I netted them other shad at. I got a feeling we're going to catch fish all the way back through here. We are a little bit more out of the wind the further we get back up in here too, which is nice. Helping me warm up a little bit. Getting out of it. Let me steer us to the left too. Yeah. It's been fun, man. It's been a fun time reeling in all these fish. I wish I had me a clicker. Although I'd probably forget to click it. But it'd be nice to know how many fish we've got so far today. This live bait rod is really translated into more a lot more fish caught. I mean, I figured we would get a few fish every trip with it, but I wasn't necessarily expecting a day like today where we're getting just one after another, after another, after another. I think though, when the day comes that we get some bigger shad, that's when we're going to have that chance to get them stripers. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to keep these. I've got them here in my pocket. I'm just going to keep them here in my life jacket. That way we can tie them on whenever we need them. But again, I got them size 1, them 3/0, what we've been using right there. And then I got them 5/0. So when we get to, although the 3/0 and the 5/0, the size ain't much. The wire's thicker, but the size ain't barely any difference between them. Maybe it's just more the gauge of the wire. But either way, when we go out, we hit the water, we never know what size shad you're going to get. It's not something, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on any trip trying to get shad, especially if it's a day. Like today, for instance, where I'm getting out here, I've got some skipjack I got there for us yesterday. So we've got our primary bait, but when I hit the water, I want to get us a few live baits, some shad, and so we'll just throw the net, see what we get, and if we're getting, oh. We got one hooked up right here, 14 feet, by gosh, is what we got. You don't feel too bad either. He's turned, he's coming right at us. He's coming right at us. He is swimming full speed right at us, folks. He is coming right up here beside us. Boy, look at him go. He turned and was coming full speed. Yeah, that's a fun sizer. Larger dink, maybe. We'll call him fun size. He's borderline right there. He could go either way. What'd you do with my glove, fish? There it is. But yeah, we'll just get on the water. We'll see what size shad we get, and we'll just tie on the appropriate size hook. That way we'll always have them in my pocket here and be ready to go whenever. Yeah, this fish, he's a fun sizer. He's not gonna get no front camera time though. Give me that hook back. There you go, fish. Yeah, he's yeah, definitely a fun sizer. That fish was insulted that I dare call him a dink. He said he outgrew that a few months ago. I'm going to take, we're very close to being back here, but I'm going to go ahead and just throw out another bait right here while we make our way back. It won't take long to reel it in, but why not? Because these fish have been all over in here. We may have some really big fish, super shallow. That's why when we make our next pass, I'm gonna run us up shallower in this creek and see what happens. There we go. Okay. We've only been through 2 skipjack now. Can you believe that? All these fish, but most of them have come on the shad. How many shad we got left? Do we need to throw again? Yeah, a lot of them ain't doing very good. We'll just make a throw or two up here once we get up here. That way we'll have some fresh ones. We'll switch out our water It won't take but just a minute. I got the net right here beside the bucket. I don't really have a good place for it. I keep it stored in the bucket. My trailer, a new kayak trailer there, it's got a box on the front of it. So things like my cast net, I can put in that box. It don't stink up my vehicle anymore. I'll store that. My bait tank, if I'm going to be keeping like bigger live baits that need to be with an aerator, I got my other tank. I got things like my camera mount, umbrella, stuff like that I'm gonna store in that box, because something about the aerodynamics of my new trailer. When I was pulling my old trailer, I could leave everything in the kayak and nothing ever blew out. But I've come real close to losing my cutting board and nets and everything else because of and my camera mount was hanging on the back there when I got home one day. So I'm like, I gotta take all this stuff out. So I just stick it in that box on the trailer, and it's convenient to stick everything in there, you know, when I get the kayak back on the trailer, and it don't take me much time, and especially with that cast net, because when you net them small shad like we got today, you're going to get some hung in your net. And even though they're tiny shad, if you got just one of them in your net, it's going to stink up your whole vehicle on a hot day. So having it in that box, I don't care if that box gets stunk up. Yeah, we're gonna work back in this pocket just a little bit further and see what happens. The water temps back here, I mean, look, it's up to 54 degrees back here in this pocket. That's a full 2 degrees difference from what we was at just a few hundred yards back. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if there's some bigger fish that are up in here feeding. That's amazing. I mean, it's amazing, but you see it all the time in the winter and early spring. When you get a warm, sunny day in the backwaters, it can really heat up. I mean, it can swing at a few degrees, and it'll just pull all that bait in, and it'll pull in the predator fish right behind it. A couple degrees water temperature difference. It may not seem like a lot, but when it's cold, and you know, granted today's a nice day, but the water temps are still cold. And these fish are cold-blooded. Like, it can make a big difference, having a couple degrees difference. And that's something you gotta, if you have a graph, if you do, I mean, it's not something, it makes things easier for what we're doing today as far as being able to monitor speed and everything, but like, it's not super necessary for what we're doing out here. But if you have it, pay attention to the water temperature, because it can make such a difference. You know, see, like all that bait right there under us. Like, we'll easily get this bait when we net them. Got this little point that comes off right here. There seem to be out there in front of it. We'll just we'll work our way back here just a little bit further, change the water, throw the net, and then run back down and turn around and come up. I just want to see what's happening shallower up in this creek, kind of on that left side over there, because the way the channel runs, the deeper water's over here on the right, so I want to work the left a little bit. I mean, if those fish, it's possible that the water up along the shoreline, because it's a darker color bottom, and it's like that all the way down through there. Like, it could be a little bit warmer too. It may have more bait up there on it, and that's maybe where the bigger fish are at, possibly. I mean, we've been catching so many fish on the path that we're on, it's hard to deviate from it. I'm wondering if we've got anything on our shad rod here, because we've went a long time without getting bit again. Nope, we've been pulling a bare hook back there. Here, I'll tell you what, let's just go ahead and put this up. Instead of putting another one on right now, we'll reel these in right quick. When we get back down to the entrance of this creek, I'm going to switch everything out. I'm going to put on some fresh baits. We'll cut another skipjack and put on a fresh head and a fresh chunk. Oh, I got to get that drift sock in too. We shouldn't need that drift sock anymore if we're just going to go into the wind. I just threw it out to try to keep the kayak straight when we had a tailwind. Yeah, let's get this thing in. We'll put this up. We won't use it on the way back. Okay. It come in handy though. It did help us keep our back end from getting spun around so much. You can buy this right here. I bought, hell, I don't know, 15 years ago probably. You don't have to have nothing fancy on these drift socks. I got this, and I believe at Academy, $9.99, $10.99, something like that. They may not be that price anymore. I mean, again, it's been at least 15 years probably. Whatever you do though, don't get the kayak version. Don't get a kayak drift sock, because they're not very big. You want to get a larger one. All right, let's go over here, net some of these shad. Looks like we can throw the net anywhere actually back here. Look at that screen. Anywhere we want to throw. I am going to take this down though. We'll definitely hit that camera mount. Let's dump these. Let's get us some fresh water in there. There we go. All right. Let's get your net ready here. Let's make quick work of this. We got fish to catch. Okay. All right. I'm just going to throw because it looks like we're sitting right on top of some. They are down a few feet, so let that thing sink down. Let's see if we got anything. Yep. Okay. All right. All right, let's throw the rest of them out there. Good deal. All right, folks. Well, we've got us a bunch of shad in there now. We're loaded up. Let's take off. Let's just run. You come with me here, folks. You're gonna get the scenic tour. We'll just run right back down here to the entrance, and we're gonna work up shallower and see what happens. We'll cut us a fresh bait. I got plenty of skipjack, and we've only been through 2 today, so it's pretty nice being able to catch this many fish and barely use any bait. I mean, yeah, we've used a bunch of these shad, but they're so easily attainable right now. It's like it's no big deal at all. And there's probably too, like if we were really trying to get shad today and we wanted bigger ones, which I wouldn't mind having some bigger ones, it would be nice to see what would happen to a big gizzard shad that we pulled along. But I don't want to spend a great deal of time doing it. But if we really poked around back in here, there's probably some gizzards somewhere. And I'm sure we could find them if we spend enough time doing it. But I just don't want to spend that much time doing it. I mean, I've been getting some pretty good quality cats lately on the skipjack. So I'm pretty confident if we pull the pieces of cut bait by them, we're going to catch them. And of course, these live shad here are getting our small cats, so I just don't want to waste time on bait right now. Daylight's burning, you know what I mean? At least with the time change, it is going to stay daylight longer, which is nice. I wish they'd leave our damn clocks alone. And I don't even care which way they leave them. I would rather have more daylight later, but just leave them alone. Quit flip-flopping back and forth. Just leave our clocks alone. I don't know why the government's got to meddle and stuff like that. Make no damn sense to me. There's a lot of things that don't make no sense to me. Like why I don't want to say I'm 43 because I keep turning 39 over and over again, but like why the hell am I buying wrestling figures? That's a mystery in itself. If I can't solve my own damn problems, ain't no way I'm gonna figure out the government's. Yeah, we'll just run right back down here and turn and start over. It would be nice if we could just catch a break from the wind and be able to not have this downtime. This is, from an efficiency standpoint, if you're going to kayak fish, you got to work as efficiently as possible. And anytime you don't have baits in the water, like you're wasting time. Especially like in a kayak when you're running spot to spot. I mean, we're moving 4.3 miles an hour right now. Like we're not getting anywhere in a hurry, even with the motor. Now, if I was pedaling, we'd be going even slower. So working an area like this, it would be nice to be able to go up and down in it. That way our baits would be just non-stop in the water. We wouldn't have any downtime. And I normally try to structure my day where that's possible, especially if I'm in a tournament. It's very important in a tournament when you're not only fishing against other people, but you're also fishing against the clock too, because you have set tournament hours. But out here today, I mean, this wind, it's not gusting right now, thankfully, but it just hasn't slacked off like the weather forecast said it was going to. Like it was supposed to be 20 plus mile an hour gusts this morning. And normally this time of year, it's calm in the mornings and picks up through the day, but it blew really hard yesterday and it was supposed to be 20 mile an hour gusts up through the morning, and then by lunch it was going to be tapering off all the way through the afternoon. But hell, it's 4:30 now. And it's still been gusting. So I just don't think today, I don't think it's gonna work out for us today to be able to be able to go up and down in here without, because we were catching fish before the first pass down through here, but from a speed perspective, it's so much easier to control the speed going into the wind. And as far as going out to the main channel, like, we'll be way more exposed out there, and we're just having such a productive day back in here. I hate to change anything. I want to keep doing what we're doing. So we're out here. We're 25 feet deep now. I want to run on out a little further. Let's go on out. And then we're going to slide up. And I'll show you as we're making our way along here. I'll show you again on the graph kind of what it looks like. You can see the contour lines. Like down here, this is the main river, the main creek channel. And up here, these contour lines is progressively, they're tight up here and they progressively spread out. That's the shoreline where it comes off and then gradually tapers out. And I'm just going to work us up shallower. I'm not going to follow any specific path, but I am going to just try to work us up progressively shallower and just see what happens. And if it works out, great. If it don't, well, we can just come right back over and get in the old creek channel. But usually, most of the time, like if you see me fishing a creek most of the time, I'm usually be set up at the entrance of it, right? I'll be anchored down and waiting on fish to come in and out. Once they're up in the creek, I don't really know where they're going to go. Like they're just going to follow bait. They're going to chase bait around. So they could be literally anywhere back up in here. Now, I mean, we could have done that today. The wind wouldn't really affect us so much for that. Like we could have spot locked out there and just suspend fished and waited on fish to come in and out of this creek, but there's so many fish in this creek right now already, it's possible that the bulk of the fish have already moved up in here. Like how many fish are going to be coming in and out at this point, I don't know. Like I think these fish are, like they're just, the feed is on today. I don't know what it is about right now that's got these fish fired up and feeding, but like they're here in this creek right now. So there's a lot of different ways that we could have done today. We could have pulled up on the shore and cast baits out, been bank fishing today. And I'm sure we would have caught some fish doing that. Every once in a while, you'll get a day that's, and again, I have no idea why. I don't know what it is that caused these fish to just all be aggressively feeding at one time. I don't know. But every once in a while, you'll have days like that. And when it happens, you really can't do any wrong. Like, no matter what you do, you're going to get bit. There's other times when you're out, like, and I've noticed this, like, in the past when I've been trolling and I'm dragging baits and suspending baits at the same time. And one technique will get hit way more than the other. Why is that? I don't know, but whatever's causing it, those fish are just kind of keyed in on either a certain type of bait or maybe one particular type of presentation is triggering a bite when the others aren't. Like, I don't know what causes it. But when it gets like it's been for us today, like, you really can't do any wrong. Like, it don't matter what bait you're throwing out, what technique you're doing, you're just going to tear them up. And it's fun. It don't happen all the time like this, but boy, when it does, it's fun. Yeah, I'm not going to go out here too much further because I'm still seeing a ton of bait and stuff on the screen, but let me see how far. Yeah, let's go over here. Let's work over here toward them old pine trees or cedar trees, whatever they are. Work up shallower. There looks like there's another creek bed right there and a point that comes off. I bet it's that channel right there. That's probably that creek that we're seeing on the map, and this other area right here, this point, probably extends on out. There's birds there all over it. flying around, so. We'll go on down just past the tip of this point. We'll put our baits on over here. We'll drag up onto this point and over that way. Because there could be a bunch of fish up on that point too. The fact there's all them birds flying around out here tells me that there's bait all over this. There's one of them old loons that just popped up too. There he went back under. He's swimming around down there getting him a meal. Yeah, let's we'll go right over here, cut us up another bait. We're gonna get to it. I'm ready to catch another fish, man. This unfortunately took a while to make a run back down here. It's just, I mean, you do the math on it. You're running 4 miles an hour. It takes 15 minutes to go a mile. If you go 3 miles an hour, it takes 20 minutes to go a mile. So like even with the motor, you can't go anywhere fast in a kayak. So it's imperative. I can't stress it enough. It's so imperative that you try to work as efficiently as possible in a kayak. It's going to help you catch a lot more fish if you can work efficiently. All right. I think what I will do is get our speed and everything set, then cut our bait. I think that'll be easier. That way, as soon as we cut it, we can get baited up and start letting out lines. Let me get spun around here. This motor guide remote, you've got a north heading button here, and this is your speed control. You push that button, it sets you at 1 mile an hour. And then you can hit the plus and minus and adjust it in 0.1 mile an hour increments. So I'm going to hit that, and then I'm going to hit that. Now I mean to hit it 5 times, and we're good. Well, it should be anyway. Okay. Next bait, skipjack. That's a pretty big one right here too. We'll put on another larger chunk right there. We might as well go for it, man. We might as well put on the bigger pieces while we've got the action coming on the smaller rods. I do want to cut these fins off. I just feel like these fins, if a fish eats this bait from the back, them fins could turn in its mouth and prevent a solid hookup. Just ain't no point in having them on there when it takes just a couple seconds to clip them off. Okay. There goes that one. Let's just start letting out line. We'll put our live shad on last because the way it's been going, hell, we may not be able to get these lines baited before the shad gets eat. At least I hope that's the way it keeps going. If it ain't going like that, we're going to get back over there in the old original creek channel. Okay. Clean your cutting board off here, folks. Clean that up. That old nasty thing. Now, let's grab this rod. Pick you out a winner here. Well, apparently I don't want that one. I wanted him, he didn't want me. Let me get that one. Oh, well. I know some of you are saying, Justin, why don't you just use the damn net? And I don't know why. I don't know why I'm not using the net. All right. Let's see if we can get all these lines set again, and we're ready for our next pass. Get that one in the back rod holder. I think we're ready, folks. I'm gonna let out a little bit more line on these front rods. If we're gonna work up shallower, I definitely want out more line behind us than what I was before when we were working kind of deep. Right now we're 26 feet, but like I said, I'm gonna work us up onto this point here. It looks like it comes off. I bet it's where that flag is over there. I bet that point comes off this way, and that creek channel veers up there to the left, and we'll just work up on this point, work up real shallow on there, and then hang a right and go off the other side of it over there on the edge. I'm excited to see what we get here with this. Wish I could get that line going out there. It keeps getting snatched up there. Let me let out just a little bit more. This may be a dumb idea. Like, we may not catch a damn thing up here, but if it pays off, it's got potential to pay off big. We know there's some smaller, over there in the main creek channel, we know there's a bunch of small fish and some fun sizers mixed in, some stripers obviously over there, even though we only caught one, which what we're doing here with this dragging for catfish technique, it's really, it ain't the ideal technique for stripers, but it's just been right place, right time, I guess. I've gotten some lately doing it, but the fact is there are some stripers in here, so it could very well be that we get some more maybe. We just get it in front of them. I do think, though, over the course of time, if y'all keep me motivated on this live bait stuff and netting us some bait first thing when we first start a trip, especially when we get some like bigger thread fins and gizzard shad, or who knows, I mean, maybe we get a live drum in the net or suckers or something. We put them on back there. I think we got a real good chance at hooking some big stripers this year doing that. I mean, that's what most of the local striper fishermen do, is they pull around big live baits behind them, kind of up in the water column. Are you kidding me? Are we hung? I just flipped that bell over and we're hung. Are you kidding me? Probably dropped that thing right on a brush pile to start with. There it comes. That's a little tip for you, and right there. Some of you might find helpful if you're new to dragging. If you get hung, and it don't matter what kind of dragging sinker you're using, if you get hung, you see your rod tip loading up, don't jerk it. That's not good for you. What you want to do is give it some slack and then lift straight up. Just slow and steady, lift straight up. That will oftentimes pull it free, or pull it up and over. Here comes the wind again. Yeah, if you're in something and you try jerking it free, like oftentimes you'll just dig it in. You'll dig your line into whatever it is, or bury your hook into part of the brush or the wood or whatever it is you're hung in. I wish that wind would I wish it'd just do what the forecast said it was going to do. You can't trust the damn weather, man. You can't trust them. But I tell you, buddy, it feels, blowing across this water, buddy, it feels cold. With that sun, with it getting later in the afternoon, the sun has started to go down a little bit. Temperature's dropping. At least it feels like it is, or maybe it's just because I've been out here so long now, my core temperature's dropped a little bit. I don't know. Either way, I feel a little colder right now. And that wind don't help things. If I end up trying out Daniel's kayak, and again, we'll see. When I get back to the ramp today, we'll see how much water, if any, I got in this thing. That other water, man, it had to come from somewhere. Who knows where it was at? But if I end up fishing out Daniel's kayak while I sort this one out, boy, that wind's cranking. But if I do, you know, the new canoe's got the 360 seat. So like right now, this wind would be blowing into our back. And it wouldn't feel as cold as what it does right now with it blowing into our face. I hope when I get back to the car today, I don't have any water in there, but I got a feeling I'm going to, because I don't know where all that water come from. I mean, I did get caught out in the wind that one day, and I took some water over the bow, had some in the hole. I got it all out, I thought. But even that day, even the day that I had water, and they're like coming over the bow, and I got home, I was like, I remember thinking like, boy, I didn't think I took on this much water over the bow, because there was quite a bit in there. And then when I unloaded this kayak to go to take my trailer over to U-Haul and get the plug fixed, and I had all that water in there, I was like, I wonder the day I was taking water over the bow, like if I didn't have a leak then. And these Hobie Pro anglers, I mean, they're, well, not anymore, but used to, they were really good quality kayaks. Like you didn't see a lot of issues with cracks and stuff on the Hobie Pro Angler. Not from like, say 2015 up through whenever it was Hobie sold, 22, 23. They sold and went to some hedge fund group or whatever, and they moved the operation to Mexico. And when they moved everything to Mexico, that's when you started having all these quality issues with thinner plastic, holes cracking, all that. But prior to that, I mean, you didn't really see problems out of Hobie. I mean, well, the Hobie 360, people were having issues with the pedal drive system. But as far as like the hull quality, and this hull has been great. Like I've run the keel up there on the bow into concrete boat ramps so many times, like it started to get thin a couple years ago, and so I added some plastic to it, just plastic welded. And when I say plastic welded, that's a fancy term, but really you're just taking a heat gun and taking some scrap plastic and just melting over it that way. You heat up the plastic of your kayak till it gets shiny. Then you heat up the plastic, the scrap plastic, and it'll adhere to your kayak a little better. And you just add on layer after layer. And so I built the bow keel up there a little bit more where it had gotten thin. But beyond that, like I haven't had any issues whatsoever. But it is at that age, and it's very well possible that the new trailer bouncing without the flex in the bunks, coupled with the fact that I do carry my bait cooler, I keep it on the back of the kayak while we're transporting. That's a lot of weight bouncing up and down, which I've never had issues with it before. But you never do until the first time, right? So maybe the weight of the cooler with the fact that the bunks that I have on this trailer don't flex. We had a little tap on the right rod there. Maybe it's cracked somewhere. But usually, if you're getting water inside your hole from a leak, it's usually the scuppers or your pedal drive slot. The plastic in the pedal drive area there is a little bit thinner too. All are fixable, but if there's a crack that's up inside the scupper, it's going to be very difficult to get to. Because the height of this particular kayak, like if it's on the edge of the scupper, no big deal. I mean, it may be more prone to crack there again, but we can fix it. But if it's like midway up in there to the point where there's water getting to it, and obviously there is if we're getting water inside the hole, but like it's going to be hard to heat that area up without heating up everything around it. I don't know. I got to figure it out though. I don't even know how I'm going to figure it out. Like, I want to make sure today, like when I get back to the ramp today, if we have water inside the hole and I'm not taking any water over the bow today, then I know for sure I've got a leak. Because this thing was dry before I brought it out today. So we'll definitely know there's a leak. Now, once we have a leak, it's confirmed. I mean, when I had this thing off the trailer there, I flipped it up. I looked at the scupper areas, I looked at the pedal drive, I felt around best I could. I didn't see or feel anything. But if it's a small crack, hell, I may not. So I guess what I'd have to do is just put it back on the trailer, make sure everything's dry, the outside's dry, trailer's dry, everything, and take a water hose and fill up the inside of the kayak. And then just get under the trailer and just start looking to see where water is seeping out at. And try to figure it out from there. That's the only way I know to do it. If you can't see the crack, if you don't know where it's at, then, but the only thing you can do is just fill up the inside of the hole, which I hate to do that because I got wires going through there for my graph and my power poles and all that, so. But you may not have to fill it up very far, but still, it's a pain in the ass, and then you gotta get all that water back out of there again. And yes, before one of you asks, I did check my drain plugs. The Hobie Pro Angler's got 2 drain plugs on the back. That was the first thing I checked to make sure those were still tight. So it's definitely not water coming in the drain plugs. So I don't know where it's coming in at. I'm hoping we're dry. I'm hoping that it was just, maybe I did take on more water that day over the bow. Maybe I thought I had it all out and I really didn't. That's what I'm hoping for. That's best case scenario. The way my luck has been lately, the trailer, with me damn near breaking the fender off and dragging my light plug all the way down the highway, like I got some bad Judy over me or something. I don't know what's caused it. I guess I'm just due for some bad luck because I had such a long run of good luck. I'm usually just a pretty lucky person in life. Things always tend to work out for me. I mean, in the end, things just always end up going my way, it seems like. I'm very fortunate from that aspect. But lately, that just ain't been the case. Look at this buzzard up here flying around. What do you think he's after? Them old buzzards, them old nasty things. Them buzzards, folks, and look right there on the ground. Like, we're coming across some fish. We're up on this point now, 13, 14 feet deep. There's some fish up there. Them buzzards, man. Them things, it's been, I don't know, 2 years ago maybe now. Them buzzards ate the rubber off my car, like around the windshield. There's that rubber liner that goes around. They ate the damn rubber off, and they're notorious in my area. They'll get over there, especially below the dams. There's a lot of buzzards hang out below the dams, I guess, because people clean fish there and throw fish out on the bank and stuff. So there's a big population of them over there, and they'll get over there on people's cars and they'll poop all over them, man. Like, I mean, you'll come back and there'll just be 50 different piles of poop all over your car. But they'll sit there and eat the rubber, whether it's your windshield wipers, the trim on your windshield. Like, they'll just sit there and pick it apart and eat it. They cause a lot of damage. You can't do nothing about it because they're a protected bird. Apparently, I follow our local county commission and stuff. I'm annoyed with our local politicians because they just raised our property taxes last year, and I don't like any of them. But anyway, I follow along with kind of what they do and the different ways they try to screw us. And some people that live around the landfill in my county have been complaining for a long time about the buzzards because they get on their docks and their roofs and stuff like that and cause problems. Get on their boats out there and whatnot. And because the landfill in my county, and I don't know why the hell they thought it'd be a good idea to put it that close to the river, but like, it's really close to the river. So they really wasted some some prime real estate on the landfill. Oh, we got another snag. Let's see if we can pull this free. Oh, that feels like it's hooked solid. Oh, dadgummit. All right. Let's go back and get it. If we can. Oh, man. Okay. We must have come through some brush because that one was hooked for a second, too. We'll go back there and see if we can pull it free. If we can't, this is going to be the first one of them inline sinkers that I've lost. First day not running the brush guard. And I'll be damned here if we ain't got... What happened here? Oh, we got our... Well, hell, we lost our shad off that hook, too. That's why we ain't got bit back there. Okay. All right. Let's, I'll tell you what I think I'm going to do, too. As we've been working up over here on this point, we ain't done a bit of good. We've seen some fish. I don't know what they are. It may not be cats. It may be something else. But we've seen fish, but we ain't had no action other than maybe whatever ripped the shad off the hook. But I think when we get this undone, I'm going to get back over there in the creek channel. I know I said we was going to make a full pass over here, but hell, of course we probably ain't been doing this 5 minutes. It just, when we've went this long without a bite, it feels like forever now. I got so dang spoiled with how things was going today. Boy, this thing, it feels like it's down in it. There it come. We got it out. Okay. All right, well, we got it back. Let's just run right back over here. Well, I'll tell you what, let's just get reset and we'll gradually make our way over there. How about that? Okay, let me see if I can. I'll let that speed drop down under 1 mile an hour, then I'm gonna set it and it'll speed up. There we go. All right, let's get that going back out. Now we need another shad. Y'all let that thing get ripped off. Them buzzards distracted us while the fish ripped us off. But yeah, them buzzards, man, nobody likes them things. But you can't do nothing about them. And that's what the people at in my county was complaining about. Is like, they're protected, so they can't shoot them or nothing. Now at the dam, people at the TVA, they'll fire off I don't know if it's an actual gun or if they're just some bullhorn type thing or what, but they'll make a blast sound and it'll spook them buzzards away from them, away from the dam, and then they'll come down there to the parking lot and start eating everybody's windshield wipers. But them buzzards are a problem in my area. I'm glad, of course I couldn't live next to the landfill anyway. I don't know how people do it. There's a really, really nice neighborhood because the landfill's over there by the river. And so there's a really nice community over there, golf course and everything, by that landfill. And it ain't so bad in the winter, but boy, in the summer, if I'm fishing that part of the river, the stench from the landfill, like if the wind's blowing a certain way and it's been real hot, like you'll smell it. Like I can't imagine them people over there in a fancy golf course community. They got them $1 million+ houses, well, multi-million-dollar houses over there nowadays and today's real estate prices. But they over there got a damn nice house. They go out on their front porch, drink their coffee or something, and the stench of a landfill. Got the stench of a landfill right out their back door, and then they got buzzards eating their boats and their roofs off their houses and everything else. People come here, they think they're retiring to paradise, and surprise! Look at them fish right there on the bottom, man. I wonder, you think them are cats? They're on this point, on the edge of it here. We're 25 feet. I don't know what they are. But I mean, we've seen a lot of fish. Like, it could be carp, it could be buffalo, drum. It could be a variety of things, but when I see fish right off the bottom like that, I always assume it's cats. And I think it's a safe assumption today with as many cats as we've had in this creek. So we got our lines. We're pulling again here. Got our shad going off the back there. I'm cold, y'all. That sun, I mean, you can see it's still up, but it's on the way down. And the temperature's definitely dropped. Every time that wind blows, which it has, the wind, I will say right now, the wind, even when it gusts, it's not blowing as hard. So maybe it is finally slacking off a little bit, just later than what the forecast had said. But that flag over there was whipping earlier. Now it's still moving, but not like it was. But just that wind, just that constant wind blowing off the water just makes it feel so much colder. I need about one more layer on right now is what I need. I need me a fish to reel in. That's what I really need. Nothing will warm me up like reeling in a big fish. I don't know if that really warms you up, but it makes you forget that you're cold. Or at least not think about it. Look at that right there, man. You got a school of shad. 1, 2, 3 marks right there under it. Whatever those are, I want to catch them. Our baits will be there in just 30 seconds to a minute. I hope they're still there. Even if something terrible happens and we don't catch another fish out here, though, it's still been an incredible day, at least numbers-wise. The fact I got that big striper, I mean, my day was made with that. But still, it's been a good day. We were getting bit right off the start. It was awesome. But I do hope we get some more. Something to tap that bait there. I got a feeling as we make our way down through here again, especially as we work up farther back up in here, I got a feeling we're going to start catching some more. If nothing else, we're catching them on that shad back there. I didn't feel that rod get hit for whatever ripped off the last one, but I could have been distracted. Get to talking about them buzzards, you know, it just takes your mind to a different place. I'll probably stop way home tonight. I got my labs back and got that high cholesterol, and I'd made all these changes to my diet. I mean, I still eat a lot of meat. I eat steak all the time, so that's probably part of it. But I made a lot of other changes. Like I've cut out my Pepsis to damn near nothing. Other than going on vacation, I had several when I went on vacation. And about once a week, if we go somewhere, restaurant or something, I might have a Pepsi. But I've really cut. I don't have one a day anymore. Like I used to have a Pepsi with my meal every night. I've cut all that out. Now I maybe average one a week outside of vacation. I've cut out all the junk. And yet my cholesterol still goes up. So anyway, where I was going with that. I'd like to stop on the way home tonight and get something to eat versus cooking, because I don't really feel like cooking tonight. But if I get some supper out of a bag at a drive-thru, what's that going to do to my cholesterol? It's just going to add to it. Something's going to kill us all, but I ain't trying to die of clogged arteries. I did have CT calcium score there last year. It was fine. But I ain't trying to get no heart disease, and I ain't trying to go on no cholesterol medicine either, folks. I ain't telling you that you shouldn't be on no cholesterol medicine if you got high cholesterol, but I don't want to have all these pills, you know. I used to just, oh, here comes the wind again. I was just bragging about how it was starting to slack off, and here it's coming at me again. But I used to always get frustrated, and my real job, you know, I was a nurse, I worked in the ER. I'd have somebody come in, and they'd be 40s or 50, you know, my age now, but they'd be young enough to take care of themselves and physically able to take care of themselves, and they'd have a whole bag of medicine. And it was all, you know, and I'm not saying, some people's got, some people have health issues, diseases and stuff they can't help, right? Like that's different. But people like, say, me right now, right? Like, that's somebody that's young enough and physically able enough to take care of themselves and keep themselves healthy. Like, there's no reason for me to let my health get so damn bad that I need a damn cholesterol pill. Like, that's just poor diet on my part, and I need to do better. But I have made a lot of changes, and it is frustrating to not really see any results from all the changes I've made. But I don't want to be one of these people that's on 15 different pills for stuff that, with exercise and a healthy diet, can be prevented. Because I'm willing to do it. I mean, I work out every day. I'm going to work out tonight when I get home. I'm probably, truth be told, I'm in better shape now, physically, at 43 than what I was at age 33. Now, I don't think that's a stretch to say that. Because I mean, my habits are better. I work out every day. I mean, I'm in good cardio shape. I'm in good physical shape. Like, I'm in better shape now than I was 10 years ago. But me eating as poorly as I used to, it catches up with you. You know, it's just, when you're in your 20s and 30s, well, especially, you know, teenage years, 20s, 30s, you can eat whatever you want. Well, some people, I say, you know, I'll just use myself as an example. Teenage years, 20s, 30s, I could eat whatever I wanted to, as much as I wanted to. Wouldn't gain a pound. Wouldn't have any problems. But over time, it catches up with you. It's a cumulative effect. Some people, hell, they look at a donut and they gain 5 pounds. It's all on how your body is, metabolism and whatnot. Everybody's different, but still, the stuff like this, man, I just don't want to be somebody that's got 15 pills. Fortunately, though, I don't have any other problems. All my other lab work looks good. I'm at that age, though. If you're in your 40s, folks, I definitely, if you're like me, you probably never go to the doctor. I can't remember, I mean, like, my girlfriend, hell, if she gets a sniffle, she goes to the doctor. She goes to the doctor for everything. Me, I don't go to the doctor for nothing, if I can help it. This fish can't help getting hooked. Oh, buddy. Oh, that's gonna pull. Okay. 29 feet. He's coming right at us. That was a nice takedown. That was a really nice takedown. I don't know if he's going to end up being a very good fish, though. He must have just been going full speed the opposite way. Here comes the wind yet again. Every time I think that wind is about done, it just gusts again. Y'all sick of hearing about this wind today. I know you are. I'm sick of talking about it. I ain't going to talk about the wind no more today. That's the last I'm gonna mention of it. I had more line out this time than what I thought I had. I didn't think I had that much line out, but hell, we still got this fish behind us here. Okay, he's up on the surface. I saw a tail back there. It's a blue. Can't really tell how big he is yet, though. I think he's going to be fun size. Oh, he's got this bait choked in his mouth. It is a fun sizer, lengthwise. Weight-wise, he's skinny. Look how that bait, look at that bait. It's literally just sideways there in his mouth. Uh-huh. Quit it. There we go. Oh, let me have that back. I'm gonna take that bait back from you, fish. He ain't bad. He's another one of them long and skinny fish. I'm gonna go ahead and reuse this bait though. Send it back out. Let me just, while we're checking bait, let me reel in this shad, because it's been a long time since I think we've been robbed again. How are we getting robbed without me even knowing? Y'all got to keep an eye on this rod here. We could have probably done caught 12 more fish. I'm going to start checking it more often, I guess. Let's not let out as much line this time. Maybe that'll help our calls. But yeah, like I was saying there, folks, if you're in your 40s and you're like me and you never go to the doctor, you need to at least go and get your blood work done. At least get some basic labs. About once a year. Check your blood counts, do a CMP, complete metabolic panel there, check your electrolytes, stuff like that, and get a A1C, check your sugar, get a PSA level. I mean, if you're a man, you need to start worrying about your prostate a little bit after age 40, and just keep an eye on things. Once a year, go to your doctor and have it done if you got insurance. If you don't have a doctor or insurance, you can go to, there's these lab places you can have them done, like I think it's Labs Now or Any Lab Test Now, something like that. They're in like little strip malls, and it's cash businesses. They don't take insurance, but you can go in there and check the labs that you want, or they'll have like a men's health type thing if you're not familiar with what labs you might need. But just, it's cash business, and you just pay cash for it. But it's worth doing once a year, because all this stuff, like me with my cholesterol now, it's like they say an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. If you can get on top of things early, you're going to be way better off than waiting around and not knowing you got a problem until it's way worse off. So that's your life advice for the day right there, folks. I ain't trying to sell you on a copay at your doctor's office, but at least once a year, just get you some basic labs done. See what's going on. You kids out there that may be watching or listening, enjoy your youth, because boy, it goes by quick. Then things start going downhill. Hell, it wasn't that long ago I could sleep all night without having to get up to pee. Now, 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, I've got to pee. I used to make fun of Pro Moderator. You go on a trip with Pro Moderator, he's going to get up 12 times in the night to go pee. Like, I swear he's got some kind of prostate problem. But here I am now, I feel like I'm turning in one of them people. Part of my problem too is I gave up a lot of my junk food. So now I eat fruit in place of the junk food. And I've gotten a bad habit lately of, me and my girlfriend will be sitting there in the evenings before bed watching the TV set, and I'll eat me a bowl of fruit. And I shouldn't be doing that right before bed, because then that's going to cause me to get up and have to pee in the middle of the night. But I like to have a little snack while I'm watching the TV set. Survivor's back on. We've been watching that. Tried watching that show Extract or Extracted. It's kind of like Survivor in a way, but it's not any good. I can't really get into it. We watched Matlock, which is a surprisingly good show. It's not like the original Matlock with Andy Griffith, but it's a pretty good show. Of course, I've been watching wrestling. Monday Night Raw. I've not been watching SmackDown. I still don't know a lot of those people, but I've been into Monday Night Raw. I'm especially into Liv Morgan. And not just because she's hot. I mean, she is hot. I'm pretty sure she's my soulmate. She doesn't know it, but I'm pretty sure she is. But she's a really good wrestler, too. Like, she's really, really good. The women's wrestling, I mean, when I was a kid, the women's wrestling was kind of a joke. And then as I was a teenager, during the Attitude Era at WWE, or WWF back then, the women's wrestling was still, the women were hot, but it was still kind of a joke, like the divas division, they called it. Like, them women, they weren't very good wrestlers. They were just kind of there as eye candy. But these modern day women that are wrestling, like, they're good. Like, they're athletic. They can do everything the men can do. Like, I watched that Elimination Chamber match there. And of course, I was pulling for Liv Morgan, but like, that was a really good match. Like, all of them women that was in it was really talented. Like, I'm impressed. The women's division of wrestling has come a long ways. I mean, yes, they're still good to look at and all that, but like, from an athletic standpoint, they put on just as good a show as the men do. In fact, I'm more intrigued by a lot of the women's matches storylines than I am the men's. Especially Liv Morgan. Like, I think her and that Dominic Mysterio, like, they're really good together on screen. Like, that whole thing there, really good. They got a good thing going. And here's another thing that's changed in wrestling compared to be what it used to be. And I apologize again if there's wind on the camera right now. It's gusting again. But used to, if you had two good wrestlers wrestling each other and it was a non-pay-per-view match, there was going to be some disqualification. Somebody was going to get disqualified. There was going to be some... Oh, the head bait. Oh, the head bait. Look at it go. Look at it go. Oh, it's stripping line. He was stripping line off there. This is going to be a better fish right here. This is going to be a better one. He's headed off to the left over there too. I was hoping it was a striper the way it was pulling, but now I think it's probably going to be a cat, the way he is now. Boy, he's just swimming along. He's made his way up. He's come up here right beside the kayak. Finally caught up with him here, and he's right beside us. Yeah, it's a blue. I feel him rolling. I think it's going to be a good one, though. I think this one's got a chance to possibly be the biggest blue of the day, potentially. I hope he stays buttoned up at least long enough to let us see him. That's a fairly large skipjack head. Okay, I see him over there. That's a good fish. I don't know if he's going to be the biggest of the day. He's probably comparable to that other one there we got. He's front camera worthy though. I'll tell you what, let me go ahead and, before we land him, let me just go ahead and stick that camera mount up. And what we'll do, we'll land him, unhook him. I'll start sending that bait out while I hold him up and have you take a picture of me and him. Come here, kitty. That's a good one. That's a good one, folks. 30 feet deep. We just made our way back over here into the creek channel, the old original creek channel, and started getting bit again. Yeah, that's the biggest one of the day for sure. This one, the gut on him, this is a good fish. This is a real good fish right here. Whoo, buddy. Let me see if make sure that thing's still hooked good. Yeah, that head bait's still hooked good. Let me start letting that line. Oh man, y'all, this is a stud right here. Let me see. Okay, there we go. I want you to look at the gut on this thing, man. He's got a daggone jack-o'-lantern pumpkin in his belly. Oh, 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 look at that one. Oh, I gotta let you go, fish. This thing, he's still ripping the line. Oh man, y'all. Oh man. We just went through some right here. Here. Let me get y'all back here. Let me get y'all back here on the chest. We just went through some fish. That fish, that last one, the biggest one of the day, he just had his thunder get stolen because this one was ripping line. I don't know if the camera angle, I don't know if you could see the line peeling off this thing. It was ripping off there. 30 feet deep right here. There's a big school of shad under us. And these fish we just went through them. That last one though, man, he had a belly on him. Like he'd ate a daggone pumpkin. This one right here feels pretty good too. I think this one here is going to be comparable. Come on up, fishy. I want to get a look at you. I'm letting out more line on that other one right there now. Don't let me forget to flip that bail over in a minute. Yeah, this one here is going to be another good one right here. For the 4 or 5 of you that's watched here till the end, thanks for riding it out with me here today. Appreciate you. These fish, they wanted to weed out all the part-time watchers here, they said. That's why they waited so long to bite these big ones. This thing here, buddy, I think he's gonna be bigger than the last one. He at least feels bigger right now. Let's see when we get him up. He feels good. All right, I see my sinker. Yeah, that's another good one. Another real good fish. Oh, buddy. Oh, let me flip that. Y'all let me forget to do that bail. Yes. Yes, folks. Yes, that's a good fish. Oh, man, that's a good fish. 2 good fish back to back. That's what I'm talking about. I'm going to have to play him out a little bit. He ain't done. Nice fish right there. Nice fish. Okay. I don't know if this one is as fat as the last one, but he's easily comparable size. I'm gonna put rod in the rod holder. I'm gonna put you all up here. This fish, he gypped us out of a picture with the last one. Come here. Okay, up, up, up. Oh, yep. Yes. Oh man. Where my pliers at? Oh man, this one's ate it kind of deep too. I don't think he's gut hooked, but I can't see. Bear with me, fish. I'm gonna try to get that bait out of the way so I can see where I can't see where the hook's at because the bait's in there. I'm trying to get the bait with my pliers. It keeps tearing. Okay, there's the bait out of the way. Now, maybe I can see. There we go. This fish got real lucky. He is very close to being gut hooked, but he ain't. Now, whether or not I can reach it there, I gotta get me some longer pliers, man. This thing is, can't get my, I need me some of them things like they have at a dentist that keeps your mouth open when they're working on you, you know. That's what I need. A bite block, I guess it's called. Because I got snot dripping out my nose. There we go. What an ordeal. That's another good fish though. Let me get you all positioned right there. Look at that. Nice, man. This one here, he said he wasn't letting us get a picture with his friend. He wanted to steal the thunder and took off with that rod stripping line, man. Love it. Absolutely love it, man. All right, let's let him go. We got more to catch. We'll see you, buddy. You was a good time. There he goes. Whew. Yes, buddy, back to back. That's what I'm talking about. That's awesome. Over here in the Dane Creek channel, we tried. I mean, I say we tried. We didn't try very hard, very long, being up there in the shallows, but you know, we just wasn't doing any good up there, and we got snagged. I'm like, well, hell, let's just get back over here where we was catching fish, and as soon as we do, we hooked up there, got two really nice fish, our two biggest fish of the day, back to back. So we'll just ride it out here. We'll stay the course and just keep working our way back through here. I'm gonna get us another piece of skipjack on there. We got our head bait pulling. I'm wondering again, do we have any shad on our light tackle rod? I don't know if we do. It ain't been hit. I'd rather catch them big ones like that, so that's what we out here for, is them big ones, buddy. We just got us two. Just boom, boom like that, man. You just never know when that big bite's coming. And maybe it's because they've been here all along and we just finally got our bait in front of them, or it's also possible too that as the afternoon is going on, we're getting here, we're creeping closer to sunset. Maybe some fish are going to work up in here and get a little bit more active closer to sunset. I'm gonna fish probably, I don't know, I got a pretty good run to get back to the car today. I definitely like to be back before sunset. Well, I mean, before it gets dark anyway. I'll probably fish in 30 minutes or so, I'd say. 30 minutes, maybe an hour. Y'all won't be able to come with me that long because I know my battery ain't gonna last much longer. But I'm probably gonna stick it out here and see what happens as we get closer and closer to dark. I'm definitely gonna make my way on back down here toward the back of this, you know, try to work my way all the way back like we did the first time. I got snot dripping out my nose again. Y'all gonna have to bear with me on my sniffling. I'm cold. In addition to the allergy problems, I'm cold. So it's gonna make my nose run more. But yeah, make another run all the way to the back here, see what happens, and then when I get back here again, I'll probably just see what time it is and make a decision from there if I want to go all the way back down and start pulling out. Or what I may do is spend the last 30 minutes, hour, however long I fish after I get done down here, run out to the creek mouth and spot lock and sit there and see what happens. Just to see if some fish maybe move in right at dark. Yeah, our shad's still on. He's still kicking too. Ain't that something? We were getting bit just non-stop there on the live bait for the first part of the day. And now we've been pulling this thing for a while and ain't got a bite on it. Funny how that works, man. The small fish bite turned off and the big fish bite turned on. But I mean, I've enjoyed it today. We've had, I mean, I don't even know, I wasn't sitting here timing it, but I bet you the longest downtime that we had was when I made my run from the back here back out. That's the longest downtime we've had between fish. When we've actually had lines in the water, I don't know, I bet it ain't been more than 5 or 10 minutes between bites probably. It's been a really good day for both numbers and size, and we got that striper. Look, I'm happy with how today has went. I hope y'all have enjoyed it too. The only thing that can make this day would be a little better would be if we got a flathead. And I did get a flathead recently on a trip where I was dragging, which I don't normally catch flatheads dragging. It's kind of it's kind of like catching stripers dragging. It's just one of them anomaly type things. But I did get a flathead on a recent trip doing it. So it's possible. And as many blues has been in here, I have to believe there's probably some flatheads in this creek too. How awesome would that be? I don't even care if it's a big flathead, just get one to go along with everything else we've got today. That would be pretty cool. I don't want to be greedy though, folks. I don't want to be greedy. We've had a good day regardless. I think we've had a pretty good day by anybody's standards. I know the first thing I'm gonna do when I tell y'all bye, I'm gonna blow my nose. I'm gonna get me this handkerchief out of my pocket that the Loys sent me. They sent me a whole pack of them. And I'm gonna blow my nose. I hate sniffling on this microphone, and I definitely don't want to blow my nose on this microphone. But between the allergies and the fact that I've just gotten cold as the sun started to go down, the temperature's definitely dropped. Or my core temperature has definitely dropped. But I definitely need to blow my nose. I need to blow my nose, and I need to get another big catfish. I don't really care what order it happens. Probably be better if we got the big catfish first, because if I blow my nose, it means the camera's off. So for y'all's sake, I hope the catfish bites before I blow my nose. What a day though, man, what a day. What a great plan B. I mean, if conditions had been perfect, we would not have been here. I mean, yeah, I'd probably run up here and got some bait, got some shad, but then we would have went right back out and been working. And I don't know, maybe the bite would have been on out there today too, possibly. It might have been a really good day out there. We'll never know, can't be two places at once, but it's been a great day back in here. A place that we wouldn't have fished otherwise. Them old buzzards flying around us again. Them's the nastiest birds, man. And they're all over. Look at them. Look at them right here. They must have heard me talking about my cholesterol and figure I'm about to croak and just waiting around and flying around here till it happens. I'm gonna be waiting a while, buzzards. I'm gonna try to fight off death as long as I possibly can. Well, folks, my battery, we ain't got too much longer here, folks. My battery's, we're in the final few minutes here, I think. It normally craps out around 4 hours, and we're coming up on it. I think what I'm gonna do, y'all, boy, we've had water drops on them land. I hope it ain't been on there all day. I just noticed that, but I need to blow my nose, y'all. So I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. Been an awesome day. Thank y'all for coming with me, man. Ton of fish. I don't know how many. I'm gonna have to go through and scroll through this video when I get it on the computer and see how many fish we've caught. But it has been a ton of action today. Bunch of blues. Got some big blues. My favorite catch of the day, though, that big striper. Such a rare catch for me. You know, it's always a surprise when I get one. I love it when it happens. So anyway, y'all, thanks for coming with me today. I'll see you in the next one.